Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low to mid-70s. We could encounter a stray shower or thunderstorm late tonight, especially across the north overnight. Lows will drop down mid-50s. Thursday, right back to sunshine, a warmer day. Highs on Thursday into the low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
To ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
It's because you call every game the same time.
Yeah, poorly.
This is the morning. Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas.
Here's Jones on a keeper. Out over the 40 to midfield. Matt Jones may take it to the house. And the dunk.
3-2 pitch. He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings. Peyton Holt in center field makes the catch. Runners don't try to score. Donay's coming home. He throws to third. Sprague fires to the plate. They got him.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Chance of a doubleheader because of Saturday rain. My partners, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston, in the ESPN Arkansas studios. Good morning, guys. It's a really great day. I thought I'd be alone at the ballpark, but no. Since the series starts tomorrow, they're starting to clean the ballpark from last night, get it ready for the Texas A&M series. I guess you can't hear it, but they've got the guys with the blowers on their backs walking around cleaning the stadium. If you hear that, let me know, and then I'll go ask them to please stop what they're doing for the next 3 hours so we can host this radio. They can continue cleaning the stadium when A&M shows up to work out later today. That seems to be
that's right. You got
way to treat your visitors.
Hey, you fellas got a permit for those things? Y'all use it over there? Good Wednesday to you, man. Yesterday, me and one of my buddies went out and saw the Northside Southside game, and got to see that pitcher. That is it Moody? That's yeah. Man, I saw him throw at 91 a couple times. Man, there was a scout from the Pirates there. Matt Hobbs was there. And they all had on like Lululemon quarter zip hoodies with like, and they're all holding a speed gun. And you're like, guys, I mean, y'all all 11 are holding, like, can you not tell what's going? It's so funny to see them all in their little thing right there. But yeah, there was, I bet there was 8, 9 scouts there, and I made somebody move. I didn't make them move. I went and sat down, and you know me, I have personal space. Like I'm not up in anybody's stuff. And then, so one of the scouts, I was like, yeah, what do you get him at? And he kind of looked at me like he didn't want to talk to me or something, And then like the very next half inning, he tells me, well, I got him at this a couple times, but the very next inning he goes and moves all this stuff over to some other seat. It's like, ooh, whatever.
Wow, you gave him the heebie-jeebies, didn't you? You could have looked like one of them, Matt. I mean, you got that athlete.
Hey, I'd like to know what their credentials are. We want to start putting resumes. I'll go Doug Gottlieb on you right there. We can go resumes.
All you need now. Now this isn't.
I'm kidding. Yeah.
This isn't the baseball scout uniform from before. But it'd be funny the next time you go with Dr. Charlie and watch any game. Heck, you could do it at a Razorback game because there's plenty of scouts at those games too. Dressed like they would have, like I remember seeing some of them in the 80s and the 90s. You got to have the, I guess it's not a Panama Jack hat, but it's awfully close to it. You got to have the Hawaiian shirt with it unbuttoned at the very top and sunglasses and the radar gun, of course, but then the tiny little notebook with a very, very small pen. The kind of pen where I don't even understand how those old guys were able to read that stuff. Now it's like you say, it's all soft clothing, Lululemon, Roback maybe. They got some Roback accessories as well. But everybody has to have the radar gun. It was one of my favorite things of, what was this movie that had Edward James Olmos starring as a baseball scout for the Angels that found some guy, was it, oh man, I can't, but his power as a scout, because he was a catcher briefly, was that he didn't need the radar gun to be able to accurately tell you how fast the pitch was. That was his superpower.
There's a lot of, Pops can tell you he's seen so many 40s. Somebody runs a 40, he can tell you pretty much what is 40 without. Yeah, I mean, just pretty much right on. Yeah,
that's kind of amazing. Well, you see
when you've been doing it, that's why I didn't believe Tom Brady when he said I couldn't tell the weight of the football if it was different. It's like, of course you're lying. Now you're starting this off with a lie.
Talent for the Game was the name of the movie, Matt. Yeah, Talent for the Game.
They do it in Trouble with the Curve. They all look kind of like that same get up. What you're talking about?
Lorraine Bracco was starred as his wife in that movie. Yeah. Anyway, that's yeah, then that's right. Another baseball movie that we take into the top of the hour breaks, as Seth from Fort Smith realized that it is always Angels in the Outfield. And thank you, Dirty Drawers, for reminding me of the name of the movie that I saw like 20 times when it was always on HBO in the early to mid 90s and could not remember it. Talent for the Game. That was well done. Talent for the basketball team came in yesterday, Matt. We got a couple of commitments. The first commits for Cal out of the transfer portal for next year. And it's the kind of players that you're looking for. 6'10" center Malik Ewan from Florida State, and Nick Pringle, who he's had success against the Hogs, both with South Carolina last year and Alabama the year before. He's the 6'9" power forward that you're certainly looking for, and Ewan is a guy that is, according to him, and I know he's a really talented offensive player specifically. Cal said, we're going to be running the offense through you. 6'10" in the paint, but can handle the ball, can dish. And there you go. Got a couple of big guys coming in.
Well, I don't know how many games those two kids won last year, so that worries me a little bit. And then also the Juan Soto thing. Colin Murray-Boyles, when he's not in the midfield for the Tottenham Hotspurs, he's going to be a lottery pick. And that could be a little Juan Soto thing, as far as with Pringle. He wasn't getting everybody's best. He's getting their B and their C effort because you're trying to stop their best. So, yeah, those are good. I like it, but I need to see more. I don't think those two kids won a lot of games last year.
Well, Pringle won plenty of games. He started half the games and was in every game for Alabama when they went to the Final Four. And then,
I'm thinking South Carolina.
Well, he transferred to Carolina.
Yeah,
that's
I don't remember him. I'm just talking about last year. Yeah.
This is the fourth school that he's played at. Wofford the first, Alabama for a couple of years, and then South Carolina, where he averaged 9.5 and 6.3 rebounds. Ewan is a huge get, though. I mean, this is somebody that's going to potentially be, well, I don't know about your leading scorer, but he's going to be your top scorer in the paint. He can handle the ball, Matt. He can dish. He can shoot. He can work it in the paint. He can work it on the outside a little bit, and he was highly sought after. And you get them it was like one commitment right after the other. I think it was maybe an hour after we got off the show. So that ought to not cool the fan base down a little bit about basketball, because kind of people were just really nervous seeing Kentucky and Auburn and some of the other schools in the SEC getting commitments and nobody for Arkansas yet. And then boom, boom, you get two of the more sought-after big men in the portal, and it just goes to show Cal knows what he's doing. You all knew that too. It's like you're just trying to freak out. I don't know. You do understand who the coach is here at Arkansas. It's like I'm not going to freak out about the talent level on any roster at Arkansas while John Calipari is the coach. Like, why would you? By this time, it's like, Matt, you say your dad can kind of just know what a 40 time is by watching a 40 because he's seen
it's the 10,000 hour rule.
Exactly. At this point in John Calipari's career, do you really think that you're not going to go into a season with with maybe the most talented, or at least one of the most talented rosters, not just in the SEC but in the nation? Now, whether or not they're all healthy, like we found this last year, can be another story, but it's right there in front of you. Cal wasn't freaking out. Let's put it that way. And I know fans that did freak out, you knew in the back of your mind you were going to be landing the kind of big men that you thought you would get. And now you got them too. So, hey, Matt, as long as he's around, I don't think there's no – whatever you feel during the season is a totally different thing than the offseason and basketball free agency now and freshman recruiting. I mean, look at the incoming class of freshmen and then just look at the first two recruits that are coming in out of the portal. It's 10,000 hours, Matt, but it's like Cal's got 50,000 hours.
He's got his doctorate.
Team.
That's for sure.
So it's you're not, and all right. So here's what it looks like as far as the basketball goes. You know, you got Boogie and Adu in the draft. Big Z heads to Illinois. Adu and Nellie Davis out of eligibility. Still waiting on Carter Knox, Billy Richmond, DJ Wagner, TB, and Nate Ament, a possible incoming freshman, and then the incoming freshmen of Malik Thomas, Isaiah Seeley, and Darius Acuff. Thomas, Seeley, and Acuff, these are all guys. I know Seeley's a little bit more of a swingman. Thomas and Acuff backcourt players. Ewing and Pringle frontcourt. So it looks to me, Matt, you could have, I mean, there's still experienced players in the backcourt. If you're thinking of guys like DJ Wagner, if he does come back, you're going to have a really experienced frontcourt, especially if TB comes back too. With Ewing and Pringle, these are guys that have been successful basketball players for the last at least 2-3 years. It's an interesting mix, a very interesting mix. And I wonder what's the next shoe to drop.
What's the is the football portal tomorrow or did that start today?
That's today.
Did anything happen?
Just lost a freshman wide receiver, Quentin Murphy. It was out of Little Rock Parkview. I don't know if much was expected out of him. I doubt there was. I didn't hear his name all that much, but that's the first football player to go into the portal for Arkansas. So I haven't seen any crazy names that have gone in just yet. But, you know, Nico Iamaleava, I hear, is in the portal too since it opened today. 877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline on this Wednesday halftime. Clay Henry joins us, features editor from Whole Hog Sports, in about 50 minutes. He'll be on with us for the final 2 hours. Grant Hall joined us at the Masters last week, and we'll get his thoughts on what this Masters championship meant to him since he was on site, and he's been to quite a lot of them. Grant Hall, Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster, joining halftime right after this break.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
Find someone who would embrace Arkansas and the opportunities to build on a rich tradition that includes 22 conference titles, 14 Sweet 16 appearances, 11 Elite 8 appearances, 6 Final Fours, and a 1994 NCAA championship.
The head coach of your Arkansas Razorbacks, John Calipari.
Listen to every Razorback basketball game right here on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Phil Elson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Designed by Jason Christie, the Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait doesn't just bring the fight, it dominates. Choose from 3 blade options: Colorado for maximum thump, Willow for bright flash, and the one the pros won't talk about, the Oklahoma blade. Perfectly balanced for subtle vibration, multiple flash points, and unmatched versatility. The Oklahoma blade is your secret weapon for pressured waters. Precision engineering, tournament proven, and one mission: dominate. Booyah Finesse Covert Spinnerbait, here for one thing.
Keep your haymaking season rolling with big savings on New Holland hay tools at WT Equipment. Right now, choose 0% financing or cash back on select disc bind, disc mower conditioners, and roll belt rounders, and save thousands. You'll cut with more confidence, bale faster and tighter, and save for seasons to come. Ask about our industry-leading warranties, too. Hurry into WT Equipment for these ready-to-roll savings. Offer ends June 30th. Capital America LLC approval. Standard terms, conditions, and other restrictions apply.
Hit the greens for a meaningful cause at Mercy Fort Smith's Birdies for Babies Golf Classic on May 12th at Hartscrabble Country Club. This 4-person scramble features morning and afternoon tee times, with all proceeds benefiting maternal child services and our Level 3A NICU, helping keep families close to home. Enjoy a great day of golf while helping provide essential care for moms and babies right here in the community. Sign up today at mercyhealthfoundation.net/birdies4babies or call 479-314-1133 for more information.
Attention football fans. This year marks the 25th year of the Brandon Burlsworth football camps, and the 2025 camps are going to be extra special. And you have 3 camp dates to choose from: May 29th in Farmington, May 30th in Harrison, or May 31st in Little Rock. The camps are open to boys and girls ages 7 to 15. Enrollment is limited, so register early at BrandonBurlsworth.org. We're celebrating 25 years in 2025. The Brandon Burlsworth football camps will be here soon.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment, or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Stick around. You're gonna hear that music solid ball she's a red. Take out the baby boots. I'm going to know I'm better now.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
About lunchtime here, All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater is the go-to spot in Springdale. Best steaks, wings, salads, and hands down, it's the best sports bar vibe that you can find. It's the All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater on Sunset, perfect for Easter brunch. Mother's Day, any big graduation dinner, any big celebration, and going to be hosting a live halftime coming up next Tuesday at the All-American Steakhouse and Sports Theater on Sunset in Springdale. Now let's bring on the one and only Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster Grant Hall, joining us every Wednesday on Halftime. Grant, how you doing?
Well, I'm doing well. I'm on the fourth hole of the Masters replay that I'm finally getting to watch today on Sunday. I didn't get to watch much of it on Sunday in the media building, so I was out there for a lot of different things, and it's just the craziest day of golf I ever saw. I mean, Rory McIlroy had to win the Masters about 8 times, it felt like.
I was going to ask where this one, not ranks necessarily, but it's just the fevered ending, the blown leads, completing a career Grand Slam. This one's got to rank very, very high, not just in your Masters memory, but all time.
Jaime Diaz, a great golf writer, ranked it 4th behind Nicklaus 86, Tiger 97, and Tiger 19. I would throw Ben Crenshaw 95 in there personally because, that was so emotional after Harvey Pinnock died the week before. And, Ben went to the funeral the week of the Masters, actually, and came back and won the tournament for the second time. And we had gotten to meet him at Paradise Valley a long time ago when he won the Southwest Conference individual for Texas. And so I would put that in there, too. And this would be in my top 5 for sure. And I was fortunate enough to get to the media viewing spot just in time to see him hit the playoff had already started, and I watched the second shots come up there. And once Rory's ball landed, you could feel it was going to go really close. And that's about as loud as I've heard that place since Nicklaus in 1986, probably.
Hey Grant, we were talking a couple days ago, and I guess everybody knows he's the 6th golfer to win the career Grand Slam. I think it submits Rory McIlroy. Like, he's 35. How much he's going to play golf for a handful more years. Who knows how well he keeps his body in shape. Top 5 maybe, but for sure he's a top 10 golfer all time. Now that he accomplished that Grand Slam, what do you think? Where do you have him on the list already?
Yeah, I think he's going to be in that top 10. Some people may want to see him win a few more majors, but I always thought when he was young that he would win 10, and of course he hit a snag for about 11 years. And I think this year he's got a chance to add to it. Charlotte is a place where he's won 4 times, shot 62 there when he was about 20, 21 years old, I think. And so that's a good opportunity for him. Royal Portrush is, and even Oakmont. So who knows, maybe you could get, if he could happen to win at Charlotte, you could get some Grand Slam talk going again, which would be really fun. But he would be 36 years old by the time that would happen.
Nobody's done the calendar year Grand Slam, right? Tiger missed it by 1, but made up for it by winning 4 in a row. Am I correct on that?
Well, nobody since Bobby Jones. He won the impregnable quadrilateral, and back then it was considered to be the U.S. Open, U.S. Amateur, the British Open, and the British Amateur. And, of course, Bobby Jones stayed an amateur, and he won those 4. And then the modern Grand Slam, I think when Arnold came along, the people got the idea that he could do it, and he really, he and Jack both very much tried to do it. And then, of course, Jordan Spieth made a pretty good run a few years ago, and you're right, Tiger won the Tiger Slam, but not the calendar year Slam.
Who's his main foil? When I think of Arnold Palmer, there's Jack Nicklaus. I think of Tiger Woods. I think of Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who would be? Is it Bryson? I mean, it made sense. They're both.
It's
in the
becoming
same pair.
Bryson. Bryson beat him at Pinehurst last year when Roy missed those 2 short putts down the stretch, and Bryson made that amazing bunker shot on the 72nd hole. And this was pretty good too. It flipped back and forth early on Sunday. And I really think the fact that Rory didn't talk to him, I think kind of bothered Bryson. I think he would rather have played with someone who was kind of chatty, during the final round. And I did see they had some interaction on the first tee, and Rory patted him on the shoulder, but that was about it. And they're just doing business from there. And Rory wanted to get even for Pinehurst, and he did. And maybe these two will go at it some more, and it's a great show for the fans when they do, because they both just bomb the ball.
It's got to be. Now I know you've gone to the Masters for a long, long time, but you also cover college athletics in a place where, just overall in college right now, it doesn't feel like it's just free for all. I mean, we're trying to make sense of what college sports is and what it's going to be in the near future, and we're still waiting on a decision on this house settlement. But you go to a place like the Masters, and it's all about how things have been before. There have been a few changes here and there, major changes too, in who they've allowed to be a member of the club. But still, at the Masters, it's just kind of the same as it's been for a long time in so many different ways. And that's just got to be so much. You come back here and you're covering the Hogs and trying to make sense of college athletics, but you go to a place like the Masters once a year, and it just seems, I know for you and for a lot of people, and I'm not a golf person, but for me, the Masters it does make sense. And you can't imagine it changing from what it is right now and from what it has been.
Yeah, and I mean, the reverence was there for the place in 1981 when I started going, but it has increased definitely through the years. The more each year gives you, another year of history, and especially this year now is one of the great finishes. So, college golf, you mentioned, is suffering a little bit right now. College golf coaches are not liking the way in which NIL is costing them some players. They've only got 6 or 7 on a roster, and if somebody comes in and pirates a couple, then that's not easy for them. But we're working our way through this NIL thing in every sport. Sam Pittman needs some more defensive backs. He said recently, probably 3 or 4 after the spring period is over. You've got the thing going on, in the midst of practice still. And so it's going to be really interesting to see in the next 5 years how all college sports navigate this thing.
Grant, NFL draft coming up pretty soon. Any can't miss prospects? Anything you're hearing on Landon Jackson, and then also the thing with Tesla. Running a 4.3 electronic 40, kind of one of the best times there for receivers. What's the latest you're kind of hearing on the NFL draft?
Well, I heard last night, Matt, that Jackson Dart had slid down a little bit to maybe 16 to 18 or something in the first round. What do you think about him?
Man, I think he's real similar to Shedeur Sanders. If I was to compare, I think it's a real weak quarterback class. Cam Ward last year was considered Michael Penix Jr. Like that's where he was, and you kind of see some of that. I'm not saying one of these guys can't evolve into a great quarterback. But I like that tight end from Penn State. He reminds me a lot of Dallas Clark, if you remember him at Iowa. I think that's a can't miss. I think Travis Hunter's an absolute can't miss if he can stay healthy. The kid, the edge from Penn State and Georgia, I like them. I think Alshon Genty's going to be fine. I just think a team might kind of overreach for him. You overreach for a running back, then you think you got to get so many carries, then you get hurt. So we'll see how it goes. I do think the SEC will be down a little bit in the first round.
You mentioned Shedeur Sanders, and it reminds me of this thing you may have read this morning about Sam Pittman being asked yesterday, would he be interested in playing a spring game against another school? I guess, Deion brought that up yesterday or so, maybe wanting to do that. And to me, it feels like spring games are going the other way. They're kind of going the way of the dodo bird. I mean, there are a lot of coaches don't want to play them anymore. If they do, it's a modified thing. Unfortunately, this Saturday, Arkansas is looking at 80% chance of bad weather again, and they've had a lot of that recently. And so if they can't play, then they've got an alternative plan to have the players meet, but they would not make up the game. So I'm sure Sam Pittman hopes to play it, hopes the weather can allow it. He mentions that Arkansas is a physical team, but the last thing he wants is for Deion Sanders to pirate some of his players after seeing them, if you play each other. I think he thinks that may be the intent there.
Graham, we're going to see it Baum this weekend. It's a big series with A&M coming
up.
Yeah, this ought to be a really good one. A&M's playing about at least for the last 2 weeks, the way that was expected. It's just you wonder if they can continue doing it here at Baum.
Yeah, I felt almost guilty about being in the same state where they lost 2 out of 3 last week. I'd like to. It was only about an hour away, but the time schedule didn't really overlap very well. I had my two sons with me, but would like to have seen some of that. And it seems like every time Arkansas loses, it's really close, and of course they pulled out some close ones too. But it's going to be a different, I guess, pitching rotation order at least, or maybe personnel. Is that what you're hearing, Phil? Maybe I guess Dave was indicating that maybe Gackle would not be in the rotation this week.
Yeah, I think he talked a little bit about it post game yesterday too. After they beat UAPB. See if I can find it here. I'll just play it for you. On this is Dave Van Horn on Gabe Gackle after yesterday's game.
He gets all these preseason accolades, and they're not for calling him preseason this and that. It was all about his relief pitching. Let's see how it goes from here.
Yeah, talking about his role from last year and how it's different from this year. And here's DVH on Gabe Gackle and also Gage Wood.
Okay. Yeah, you'll probably see Gage not in the rotation to start.
Okay. Do you get Gage Wood back this weekend?
There could be that possibility. We'll know tomorrow for sure.
So I don't think Wood will start. I think he'll pitch in relief to, coming off of this injury. But that doesn't mean that in a couple of weeks, if this next starter that is going to fill in for Gackle doesn't work out. And I think it's going to be Ben Bybee. That's my guess. I don't have any inside info on it. It just read the tea leaves, and that's the guy. But if it doesn't work with Bybee, I think they'd give Wood a shot, yes.
Bybee's been good. He's been there before. For this team, Dave likes experience. I really was sad to see Nolan Sousa have that injury that I guess he's out for the season. But Arkansas does have some wiggle room, I think, with their offense. To me, Phil, the offense, and you saw it again with the Aloy brothers both hitting home runs last night, is pretty spectacular, and I think it's good enough to win at Omaha this year. You do wonder with the amount of innings, the number of innings posted by the starters in these series is probably not as high as they would have liked this year, and that, to me, that's the big question. Can they get to Omaha and really do some damage there? I think the starting pitching needs to improve some.
I think that's a good point, Grant. Very good. Grant, appreciate your time. We'll look forward to doing it again next Wednesday. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. See you.
Grant Hall, Hall of Fame sports writer and sportscaster, with us every Wednesday on Halftime. And now the Lewis Automotive Group hotline opens for the next segment, 877-377-6963. And we'll get into more on Halftime in just a moment.
This is the worst looking hat I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I'll bet you get a free bowl of soup, huh? Oh, it looks good on you, though.
This is Halftime. Thanks for watching us here. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit, is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
White perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Get luxury without the splurge with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 Classic box, the saucy as ever. The $7 Supreme box, packed with decadent favorites. And the $9 Discovery box brings new indulgences like toasted cheddar street chalupas. It's the Lux you want for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets.
Check out our
Original
latest
beats and
drop.
real live MCs. Playground tactics. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick. Just that classic rap.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Thanks for Brother and his team to inspect your roof. World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort. We're a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They're open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Open up the door, lay the orange juice on the floor, having a picnic on the other side of town. They sleep in bags and fire, and it's getting down to the wire. So grab yourself a spot and settle down a while. 'Cause it's getting hard to think, and my clothes are starting to shrink, and the moon is sagging down like a metal ball.
Welcome back to halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Spring game this Saturday, maybe. Ugh. I mean, it's you get screwed out of out of the spring game potentially because of rain, and it doesn't look like there will be one if they decide that it's you just can't play. Not a matter of moving it indoors like happened. Gosh, I don't remember if that was 4 years ago or 6 years ago. They did you can't even call it a game. It was just a series of drills inside the Smith Center. Heck, you had a spring game that was supposed to be played in Little Rock while Chad Morris was the coach. That couldn't get played because of freezing cold temperatures. And this one, it's like 100% chance of rain all throughout the day on Saturday. I think we'll find out sometime, I don't know about today or tomorrow, plans on the baseball series this weekend. This could very well end up a baseball series that is over while the sun is still out on Friday, because it's supposed to rain a lot on Friday. So may have to move things up on Friday instead of a night doubleheader or even an early afternoon doubleheader. It could be right there in the extreme early or right when it turns into noon, which, Matt, that could mean no halftime on Friday if that happens.
Well, Phil, I'm a creature of habit, and I really do like to, I enjoy, is this really work what we do? It's pretty awesome what we get to do. And what am I going to do for those? I guess I could listen to you. I could listen to you and watch, there might be a soccer game on Friday, but I could listen to you and Bubba call the game.
I'm a creature of habit myself. So, like, if I don't have a game to plan for or I don't have a game to call, sometimes I'm not really sure what to do with myself.
You don't know what to do with your hands. It's like, what am I supposed to do with these things?
Right, and then I sit on my hands, and then I, just keep looking around, wondering what the heck is there to do at the moment. But if we don't have a show on Friday, that's because we'll be on the air for baseball, so it won't be that much of a problem. Football, though, I don't know. It's really not a big deal if the thing gets played or not. Is my anticipation about this? I just know it won't be, some event in which you're paying homage to a couple of players by retiring their jerseys. Do you see about this, Matt? Colorado is retiring Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter's numbers at the spring game on Saturday. Now, it makes perfect sense to be retiring a Heisman Trophy winner's number at the school. It's just he just finished playing there. I don't know if it's a matter of waiting for the football season or another 2 years or something. And I'd seen, Rashaan Salam won a Heisman while he was there. It took 20 years and Salam's death to retire his number. So it's not like you're going to force Hunter to wait or anything. It's, to me, that's people learning, honor these people while they're alive. So... But it's a little bit odd for it to just be a few months after. And I know there's a lot of people like, why the heck are you going to be retiring Shedeur Sanders' number?
He's probably the best quarterback in Colorado history. I mean,
he
I know
set the record
he
set their school record for passing yards this last year.
Yeah.
And helped put Colorado football back on the map. So, and he is the coach's son. And I think that's exactly how Dion views Travis. So, I mean, with all those things,
Travis is a
together,
no-brainer, though, right?
Yeah.
Like I see the Shedeur Sanders thing, but if it's a Hall of Honor or whatever, and the way they bounce around, he was there for 16 months, 18 months, and then if his dad's still there, he'll be going back and working out. But I think if you win a Heisman, so have you read the rules? It is to get your jersey in the rafters at North Carolina. So the rules are the same for everybody that comes in there. If you're an All-American at your time in North Carolina, you get to get your jersey. There's a couple other rules, so I wonder if that's.
It doesn't mean your number's retired though.
But it's up. That's right. But it's pretty cool. It's something to kind of go for. It's something to not that you have individual goals. It's not like it's like, hey, I want to win the Heisman and I'm going to be selfish as far as Travis Hunter. I want to help my team showcase my talent, and if I win the Heisman, then that's pretty cool.
You go to. I remember seeing at Kentucky. At Rupp and in Kansas too, there are a lot of names and numbers that are up in the rafters, but it doesn't mean that those are retired numbers. They're just remembered. But they're separated from everybody else that you would see in the media guide as to who would have played or even been a good player. But it's it makes sense to have rules for something like that. I don't see what the problem is for people, retiring Shedeur Sanders' number. It's just, it comes off as being a little bit weird that they're doing it during a spring game. Like, why? I would think you'd bring him back when you have a full house and it's a rival or something in the Big 12. I don't know, Utah, BYU, whomever, and make a big deal of it there. Of course, they might have a game the next day now that they're going to be drafted into the NFL, but there are bye weeks that you can plan around. For retiring a number at a spring game, that to me is just so weird. But Colorado does things in their own way. And so that leads obviously to the question about why are there only 2 retired numbers at Arkansas? There's Smack over Scott, Clyde Smack over Scott. He's the first Razorback ever to win an Olympic medal, and Brandon Burlsworth, number 77 for Burlsworth, retired. And I can appreciate the idea of being exclusive with who the retired numbers are. But there's been some really great players to come through the program that probably could get some consideration. It's just, Matt, that if I'll just put you in there. If you were to have your number retired, they wouldn't be asking, can we do this at a spring game? Maybe you'd rather have it in that kind of a situation, but it would be like on a homecoming or something, right?
Well, like Darren McFadden, no, I would absolutely love it, rather it be at a spring game than when there's everybody there.
Right.
I'd be like, let's do this on through Skype. Can y'all just Skype me in this or fax, whatever we want to do? But you would think Darren McFadden, someone who, was he back-to-back Doak Walker Award winners, All-American running back, like, That's to me and my generation. If you want to put, if you want to separate it in the last 20, 30 years, I know there's amazing players, Steve Atwater, Dan Hampton, you go down the list. Darren McFadden was just as good as anybody I've ever seen wear a Razorback uniform.
So if he would have won one of those Heismans, would the number be retired by now?
I think yes, and I think it already should be.
I agree. I agree with you. So you think it was the idea of, so we're really supposed to think that the difference between his number being retired and not being retired, or the opinion of
it's ridiculous,
of
right?
a few writers that chose either Tim Tebow or
Troy Smith
or Troy. I was forgetting the Ohio State quarterback's name.
He is memorable but forgettable. It's like that guy won a Heisman.
Yeah, I mean, is that really the reason why somebody who's obviously deserving of having that number never worn again and having his name? It's not you could create a Ring of Honor or anything like that. I mean, they're just ways to honor players that don't always have to be nobody's going to ever wear your uniform again. I just think it's weird that it's in a spring game. And for those two as well, I mean, next week they're about to get an incredible amount of attention for the NFL draft. I mean, both of them are going to be first-round picks, and Hunter may be the first overall pick. So it's not like they need to. I mean, you can go celebrate them at the spring game, I guess, and before they go to Green Bay for the draft. Or I guess Shadur's not going to Green Bay for the draft. I think Hunter is. I don't know. It just came off as a little bit weird for something like that at a spring game. You're going to be I think the idea, if the spring game here gets canceled because of weather, is there'll be some autograph signing, which that's actually kind of a neat thing. You don't really get an opportunity to just have an autograph signing at wherever they would do it, on campus or right by the football stadium or indoors. So, and looking in here, do we have any more updates on the portal? I feel like I've got to just refresh this page 30 times an hour, at least for day one, and it still just looks like it's only Quentin Murphy from Little Rock Parkview who's gone into the portal. And think about this with Murphy, because he enrolled early. I mean, he's been on campus since January. This is supposed to be his senior year of high school, and now he's about to go choose his second university. It's just that's I don't think the system was made for it to be like that. I really don't. You're really going to be, I don't know if he's 17 or 18 years old, and he's already gone through the whole process of choosing a school, chose the school. Obviously, this is not the place for him now, and I guess he can't go back to high school. Man, would anybody really want to go back to high school? There have been movies about that. Didn't Drew Barrymore star in a movie where she was
Never Been Kissed?
She was a journalist. That's right. And she looked like she actually enjoyed it. But it was a movie. It was Hollywood.
You had Matthew Perry. What was that, 17 again or something, with your boy Zac Efron and Leslie Mann?
If I were going to go back in high school, I wouldn't want it to be in today's day and age of high school. I would want it to be in the 90s. But I want to know then what I know now. It's good. Oh, wow. That will be an experience and a half.
We should write that movie.
I think we should live that life. You want to find a way to
I'm going to put all my eggs in this Real World TV basket, the MTV Real World basket. Maybe I think that's really going to really blossom for me.
877-377-6963 is the number to get with us here on Halftime. It's our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Thanks to Crabtree RV Center in Alma, one of our major sponsors over the last few years here on Halftime. They also have served the River Valley in Northwest Arkansas for 75 years and counting. Every buyer looking for an RV gets the best RV purchasing experience. They'll help you choose the right RV. There's personalized financing. The top-of-the-line parts and service department is right there on site next to the showroom and the lot. great people at Crabtree RV Center. Give them a visit right there next to the Cracker Barrel where I-40 and I-49 come together, or have a look online at crabtreerv.com. Quick break. Back to wrap up the first hour of halftime after this.
Quadraphonic blow pop. You don't need a quadraphonic blow pop. What you need is a curveball.
This is halftime.
Before you buy that next car or truck, stop by Broadway Motors in Van Buren. The best of the best for 2 straight years. Michael and his team offer the best prices on the best quality pre-owned vehicles in the River Valley. They invite you to stop by and check it out for yourself. Or if you prefer to check out their inventory online or even do your financing online. Michael has built his reputation as a husband, father, and owner-operator since 2006. Broadway Motors, 806 Broadway in Van Buren, or online at BroadwayMotorsAR.com.
Wave Rural Connect is excited to introduce our new 300 megabit internet service. Perfect for streaming, remote work, and homework for just $64.95 a month. Get no worries, cyber-safe managed Wi-Fi for a total of $71.95. Order today at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. We're adding new services and expanding our areas for you. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
I'm ignorant when it comes to a lot of topics. Thankfully, I listened to my friend's advice on the housing market and called Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Jeff made the process smoother than Mama's gravy.
Ty, you got to throw in some homemade biscuits with that gravy and a great local real estate professional to guide you down the right path. One of the keys is knowing what to do and certainly what not to do.
You communicated and were transparent throughout the process.
Ty, like you, anyone can call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. For your big decisions, I have simple solutions.
It's Kubota Orange Days at Gray Brothers Equipment, with interest rates as low as 0% for 84 months and reduced pricing on all Kubota inventory. It's time for your new Kubota at Gray Brothers Equipment. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon. Now through 6/30/25, see Gray Brothers Equipment or go to KubotaUSA.com for more information.
It's Ty Richardson with owner and operator Cecil Gardner with Jazzco Graphics, now 17 years in the industry. Favorite hog memory growing up, Cecil?
When we beat OU in the Orange Bowl in 1978, I was living in Allen Grove Projects, and it was a shutout at halftime, and I ran out of the house. I ran from one end of the projects to the other end screaming, "Go Hogs." I'll never forget that. Jazzco Graphics Design, 2415 Midland. It's on the corner of Midland and Kelly. Jazzco Graphics, the one-stop shop.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Fort Smith's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
I know we're always on the go, heading to Fayetteville, Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and you need a place to fill up. But not just for gas. I need snacks, drinks, and a restroom that doesn't make me throw up. That's why my new favorite pit stop is Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue on the way out of town. I can't stop by without getting something from their hot box or a fresh made burger. That's Jam Mart number 10, located at 6201 Grand Avenue in Fort Smith.
Arkansas Fuel Injection in Fort Smith has been providing quality work for all new and rebuilt diesel pumps and injectors for over 25 years. They are a certified diesel shop with a team of quality technicians that ensure the highest quality workmanship and warranties all their work. They are open Monday through Friday 8 to 5 and has emergency service available 24 hours a day. For all your diesel pump, fuel injection, and parts needs, stop by Arkansas Fuel Injection, 6300 South 29th Street, Fort Smith. Call them today at 1-800-817-7709. Arkansas Fuel Injection.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Here comes old Rose, she's looking mighty fine. Here comes hot Nancy, she's stepping right on time. Here go the street lights, bring it on tonight.
Here come the man, faces hidden from the light. All through the shadows, oh, they're coming, they're all in one thing in common. They got the fire down below.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Back on halftime here. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, the C Unit with us. There is a pitcher for the I still want to call him the Oakland Athletics every time I mention them. The Athletics. His name is Jason Alexander. Yesterday, the Athletics are playing against the Mets, and New York's broadcast team, of course, makes a Seinfeld reference when Jason Alexander is pitching. And then just before he delivers a pitch, a fan stands up, and does this.
Serenity now!
He screams, "Serenity now."
Insanity later.
Serenity, that is actually perfect timing, but did the guy realize that he was screaming right into a microphone? Absolutely perfect. Of course, this guy has realized, this Jason Alexander for the Athletics has realized he is playing for the absolute wrong team, and he's got to, at some point in his career, engineer a trade to the New York Yankees.
Where is that rum raisin? Let me get my hand on that rum raisin.
Oh, George Costanza. No, I didn't even realize this guy's name is Jason Alexander. I thought there was a pitcher named George Costanza. No, there isn't. There's a real Jason Alexander who plays baseball. I don't know if there's a Jerry Seinfeld, though.
Costanza.
Now, let's see. Costanza was a Yankee fan. Jerry was a Mets fan, and Elaine
Orioles
was an Orioles fan. That's right.
You got to take that cap off. I'm at a ball game. What do you? No, you're in the owner's box, man. They gave you the ticket. You got to take. It's a baseball game. Then I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
I did that before, and I thought I was doing this as a kid in sort of a reverse luck kind of a thing. I would always wear a Pirates hat to a game until the one year I decided, because I had a big hat collection. A lot of fitted caps, even teams that I despised, like the St. Louis Cardinals. So then I show up at a Pirates-Cardinals game at the age of 12 wearing a Cardinals hat, sitting next to my father who's wearing a Pirates hat. We had media tickets, too. My dad was hosting a talk show then. And, yeah, there were some folks that were looking at me because I'm rooting for the Pirates. Like, I'm standing when they get a base hit and knocking a run and hit a home run and all of that and cheering for them, but I'm wearing a Cardinals hat. They didn't kick me out of the ballpark, Matt, but there were some people that thought there was something wrong with me. Maybe there is, but I don't know if that was the indication that there is.
I was in Rome and went in Rome, but I was in Italy and we were in Rome, and my favorite ever player is Italian. He plays for Juventus. That's in Turin, so it's not but he played for the national team. They've won medals. He's a G. He's one of the best players to ever play, Andrea Pirlo. So I'm wearing my Juventus jersey out one day while we're walking around Rome. You should have seen that the hooligans. It's Lazio or Roma there. They don't care about it if you play for Juventus or not.
Yeah, if I tried to pull that off out in Europe, I would end up with my head.
They're like
dented
silly
with
American.
A rock. Yeah. I don't think I'd make it back. The one and only Clay Henry, features editor, Whole Hog Sports, is joining us for the next couple of hours. So stay with us on Halftime.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Are you tired of the overcrowded fitness centers? Would you like a fitness option where you can actually work out? out? Then let's hang out. The Hangout is Sportsman's newest fitness facility. It has an 8,000 square foot gym, indoor tennis, pickleball, and basketball with more sports coming soon. The Hangout offers group and individual training in the gym and boasts 3 active tennis pros to help you grow your game. Stop in today at 5400 Gary Street or thehangoutfs.com for more information. Be a part of something different. Fitness, sports, and more. Let's hang out.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Join us for the legendary adventure Mystery at the Forest on Saturday, April 26th. Heart to Heart Pregnancy and Family Care Center invites you to share this magical evening of excitement, mystery, and fun. If you are a business or individual looking to sponsor a heartfelt organization or to buy tickets, please text H2H Mystery to 44834 or call us at 479-452-2260. Heart to Heart's Mystery at the Forest, April 26th.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low to mid 70s. We could encounter a stray shower or thunderstorm late tonight, especially across the north. Overnight lows will drop down mid 50s. Thursday, right back to sunshine, a warmer day. Highs on Thursday into the low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Home runs are good. Home run score runs quick.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
You got a team in here that could respect it. Oh, ask me if I'm all right. Well, kids dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. What's my heart, dog? Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
That ain't but one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
It's 12:01 on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com and the Hit That Line Now app, brought to you by Taco Bell. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Christian Johnston producing, the one and only Hall of Famer and features editor of Whole Hog Sports, Clay Henry, joining us in a moment here. It is great to be with everybody today. I'm at Baum-Walker Stadium. There's some folks who are, I think, messing around with some of the sound equipment, and the grounds crew getting the field ready for workout day. Both Arkansas and A&M will work out in anticipation of tomorrow's series opener. Going to be very windy conditions for tomorrow's game, and should be a very entertaining series. Let's bring on Clay here. Clay, good afternoon, man. It's great to have you on.
It's good to be here.
How are you? I'm
doing great, thank you.
Got some texts yesterday from Clay during the baseball broadcast because Bubba openly asked about why Georgia, and a lot of people have asked about this, why would Georgia baseball have renovated their field and gone to an all-artificial playing surface? The same thing that Vanderbilt did. And then, yeah, I think sometimes we anticipate that it's all about just trying to save money for maintenance costs. And then Clay comes with the other logical aspect of it, that when you have an all-artificial surface, you don't have to worry about mud. You don't have to worry about really a wet playing surface. So it's a way to kill rainouts and do away with a lot of doubleheaders which we may see one on Friday. But I don't know if this was an artificial field Saturday, just when I'm reading from what the storms look like, if we'd be able to play anyway.
Yeah, there's certain times, and there's really a fine line between, which one is cheaper to maintain and which one isn't. And, like how long do you have the artificial surface before you have to replace it, so it's a recurring expense. It's not like this is going to be there forever. I mean, it's got an 8 to 10 year life, and then you have to do it again. So I think Wes Johnson wanted to reduce the lot or probability that you would have, a double header when there was just, a little rain standing. And I don't know if their field drained that well the way they had it. So, yeah, but I hate seeing games on that stuff. It just looks like it's dangerous to me.
I do too, but I can appreciate the thought, and it's the same reason why a lot of the youth fields that host showcases and all-stars and that kind of thing, they have the same kind of field for very much the same kind of reason, because they got to get the games in, and that's one thing the SEC is very good at.
One of the things one of the things that is not proper is how much you weigh. It's okay when you're 80 pounds to be on that field turf, but when you're a grown-ass man and you're out there, that doesn't give the same, and that's why you have more injuries on that stuff, because of the force and the veracity, the velocity, everything. But when you're 95 pounds and you want to play all day, yeah, everything gives a little bit more. But I don't think it's made for like adult use. Soccer players won't play on it. You go over to Europe, they will not touch it because there's too many knee and ankle, and you got to have those type of ligaments.
Well, we have the World Cup here next year.
There won't be a single game on field turf.
Well, and even a stadium that does have field turf has to install a grass field for the soccer.
Well, and you have to be bigger than a regular football stadium. I mean, the parameters to be a soccer stadium are a lot different.
So I also wondered about the injury to Nolan Souza, and if that would have occurred here at Baum Walker on dirt, like it did on the fake dirt at Foley Field. Now, I hated to put it in these terms, but Nolan is kind of responsible for the injury. It was a bad decision to try to run for third base at that moment, and because he was so far out, he tries to dive around the tag and twists his body in a very awkward way and landed, awkwardly on his shoulder. And I didn't put it on the turf. I put it on his decision. But I do wonder if they would have had the same injury on natural dirt, which we have here at Baum, and they don't have anything like that at Georgia.
Well, Dave Van Horn last night said the same thing, Phil, that he should have never run, and that was the cause of the injury. I hate to have it put in those terms too, but that's what the head coach said. I saw some other slides that looked like they should have caused injuries. There was one that Cam Kozel made.
Yes.
A slide, and I was like, oh, my gosh. And on dirt, that wouldn't have been a problem. But on that thing, all at once your body's grabbing, it's coming to a screeching halt, and you're not there. So you try to time your slide later, because if you do go down, you're not going to slide. There's no dirt. You slide through dirt. You don't slide through that stuff. You just stop. And Matt's right about it. And eventually they'll probably go back to grass. I don't know if you remember, but when Dave came his first year, they had AstroTurf here because that was Norm's preference.
Yeah.
They had Norm, the old field George Cole. Well, this is George Cole Field too. We don't ever say it, but it is. They still play on George Cole Field in Baum Walker Stadium. But the old George Cole Field was AstroTurf, and it got to be like concrete, and they were setting records for triple because nobody could ever catch up to the ball. I mean, you go back and look at the records, and the '89 team, they hit like 50 triples or 40 triples or something. There were a couple of guys that had 15 triples.
And I mean, Bubba even talks about you could see the oil stains from the concrete through through the AstroTurf. That's how thin the stuff was. It just had a national anthem, either an audition or a rehearsal here at Baum Walker. They thought nobody was watching. It's a redhead lady that just sang the anthem with people videoing her and all of that. I mean, I don't know if this is some sort of reality show or whatnot. I almost felt like, hey, I'm glad that they're rehearsing it, because we had somebody. This was it in Nashville? I think it was in Nashville. We had the longest national anthem of the year. It was 2 minutes and 45 seconds, and I was like, that's a minute too long. It was Nashville. The girl, you could tell the girl was really nervous because she just wasn't used to the echo of the song, and it completely threw her off. Nearly 3 minutes for the anthem. That was wild.
Maybe this was a tryout today.
Well, she passed.
Okay, well,
yeah.
good.
If they're filming her, she must be really good.
So Nate Allen never timed anthems or anything, but he had a.
I think we lost Clay there. He's got a little issue with the power cord every once in a while. So we got a couple callers on hold. We'll get the calls, and we'll have Clay back in a moment. Adam is with us. He's in Fayetteville. Good afternoon, Adam. Oh, we just lost you there, Clay, and came back. I'm took a phone call though, because we'd lost you there in the middle of the story.
Sorry, yeah.
No, that's all right. Adam, what's going on? How are you? Adam, are you there? Well, he's gone. So I don't know what happened in that case. We'll go back to your story there, Clay, because I couldn't hear Adam.
So the national anthems, through the years, I'd be sitting by Nate Allen a lot. Nate didn't time them, but he had an internal clock when he knew that it was too long, and there would just be this really, really exasperated sigh, like we got another minute to go and we should be playing baseball. But I mean, there's a lot of people in the press box sometimes will say, play faster. Just play faster, whatever, sing faster.
All I know is that when it comes to the anthem, get the words right. Don't put in extra H's. It's like it's and, it's not hand. Don't put in extra H's, and just get it done with within 2 minutes is about the threshold that you can complete the thing.
Yeah, eliminate the falsettos, right?
Well, I don't mind people making it their own. It's just there's a baseball
I
game
do.
that we're waiting to play.
Yeah, I do.
A lot of people do. Charlie's here. I bet you if Charlie sang the national anthem, he'd get all the words right, and he would make it his own, and he would get it done in about 1:45 seconds, and would be very respectful and perfect. Right, Charlie?
I don't know about perfect, Phil, but I would darn sure try it. Try to hit all the, channel my inner George Strait over here. I know Clay's a huge fan, so I would definitely try my best to try to channel that. Clay, I was going to tell you, man, if I ever came to sit by you during a baseball game, just so you know, it's going to be a hard, for you to even watch a game, because I love hearing your stories, so I'm going to ask you like 100 questions at least. And I hope you get to watch the game while we're there. If I ever were to sit by you during the game.
You would not make it to 100 questions because I'd move.
He's been invited to sit next to Hognoxious, which I don't know if
I did that.
You did that, yeah.
And I wrote the column, yeah.
We need to have another column where you sit between Hognoxious and Charlie and have Eddie behind you. That's not a column, that's a book.
It would be entertaining.
No, but you got to have Ty too, Clay. Can we put him near the premises to we want to get all the emotions, okay?
Next question.
We want to hit them all.
I think Clay just moved seats right there. I
don't think he's sitting there anymore.
Sections. I moved sections.
Guys, listen, I wanted to comment, and I wanted Clay's opinion on this too. I know he'll probably bring it up, but this whole Nico thing with Tennessee and the whole fallout of it. My question to you guys is, Matt, I know you made it a part of your down the other day, but just the whole situation is what you were talking about. But I will say this, and I was listening to Dr. Liggett. I will give Tennessee and the programming up for the way they handle this, because I think in a situation like this, there is no player, no individual that is bigger than the game. And I'm not knocking the kid, by the way, because I think he is listening to whoever is in his ear, whether it be agents. I know Arkansas, I don't want to say nothing too crazy. They got his brother on the team, but it's just, to me, this whole thing is it's insane. But I do respect Tennessee for putting their foot down, in a sense, in this case, because, guys, this has turned into, whether we like it or not, it's turning into like a basically free agency or something. I mean, that's what it feels like. I mean, if we don't get a hold of this thing and some sort of cap is put in place, I don't know what's going to happen. But did you see where Travis Hunter, what he said, Matt? You think with all
What'd he
that
say?
NIL money, with all this NIL money he's made, he probably could hang it up. He said if he gets drafted by a team and they try to force him to play one position, he
He'll
does not
quit.
mind hanging it up. Yeah, but here's the thing, though, Phil. All this money he's made in college, if he's done a good job with it, he probably could hang it up. And so I wouldn't be upset with him, but it's just like the mindset of everybody right now is crazy. I don't know. Some of this stuff has gotten so far out of hand. And I wanted to comment on the Souza thing about him sliding. Did Diggs get hurt at home last year, Phil, when he did the slide, the head first slide?
He got hurt on the
I can't-
outfield fence.
Okay,
It was
I'm sorry.
outfield
Okay.
fence for him. But yeah, anytime you dive in to a base, you're leaving yourself open for some sort of injury to finger, hand, wrist, shoulder.
Okay, when are they taught to do the head first slide versus going in, leg first? What's the? Because I don't know that when they're taught when to do which one. Anyways, I'll have a good one.
These days, it's okay for guys to dive into home plate, where it used to be you never do that, and it's because you have to get the lane to slide in. So you're not going to be sliding into a catcher the way that you used to be. Everybody's always going to dive in head first, diving back into first when there's a pickoff attempt, and most stolen base attempts also, especially now because of replay and how we're zeroing in on the base in ways where we never have before. There's much more head first diving on stolen base attempts at second and at third, and that's part of everybody's got their Evo Shield oven mitt to protect their fingers, but that doesn't really, and it does protect the wrist too, but it doesn't do anything with the shoulder. But sliding in straight into a base is different than what Souza did. Souza was trying to get around a tag, and not just like a swim move in which you just try to get your arm around the glove, and you get that little gap between your arms and where your face is. What Souza's doing is an awkward dive around a tag and then reaching back to the other side to try to get to the base, and it's just the shoulder wasn't made for it the way he landed. It was not on the turf. That turf will cause injuries, but that's not on the turf for that specific injury. To me it feels like there are many more head first slides now than even foot first slides.
Yeah, I think Peyton Stovall, his injury came on a head first slide. It might have been going back to first base or going into second, but there's no doubt that they're getting hurt on slides, that they're doing improperly, and they practice the slides, but they're trying to dodge people and do when trying to avoid getting tagged, and all at once they're doing something that they're not coached to do, and that's not going to change, by the way. It'll happen again.
Hey, you know what? Now, right in front of me here, the young lady that finished singing the anthem has been replaced by a guitarist who just performed the Star Spangled Banner with an electric guitar. I didn't want to turn it up. I didn't want to open the window and listen to it while Charlie was talking. But, yeah, it does feel like we've got some auditions going on right here. And Chris in Springdale had reminded us about Jimi Hendrix's famous anthem at Woodstock, which was 3 minutes and 42 seconds long. But, look, that's a concert and a music festival, and nobody's waiting on first pitch. So I'd say at a concert, you can perform the anthem any way you want. But who was the blind guitarist that played the national anthem at the World Series? Was it 68, 69? And that caused a real big ruckus. I think he was the same guy that sang Feliz Navidad. I can't remember his name to save my life. But yeah, he performed the anthem with his guitar in a way that kind of upset some people at a baseball game. This kid here, he looks like he'll perform it any way he's told to perform it. Got a guitarist you'd like to request from this kid out here? 877-377-6963. Lots more to get to. We've got Clay Henry with us, and much more halftime coming up right after this break.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
White perch, big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Get luxury without the splurge with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 Classic box, as saucy as ever. The $7 Supreme box, packed with decadent favorites. And the $9 Discovery box brings new indulgences like toasted cheddar street chalupas. It's the Lux you want for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge. And when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets.
Check out our
Original
latest
beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick. Just that classic rap.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Thanks for know me as your local dentist, but I'm a giant Hogs, Dolphins, and college baseball fan as well. Listen to me, Phil, and Matt talk about our 3 ups and downs for the weekend every Monday on halftime at 12:15. At River Valley Smile Center, we're a comprehensive dental facility that offers children's dentistry, dental implants, sedation, whitening, and much, much more. Dr. Cole Johnson, Dr. Hannah Cabe, and myself are located at 8309 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith. River Valley Smile Center. When you come here, you become family.
Equipment down, got a leak, lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
The mind just like you, we in having home units with the brick wall view. I can't believe the perfect families on my column TV. I'll make it to the top, and I'll never want to be. I don't want to be the one.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Man, every time I hear a Midnight Oil song, I always think of Wes Clements, who was a hitting coach for the Travelers in like 2004, and does some broadcasts for college baseball now, because I've never seen anybody look more like, and I don't even know the name of the lead singer for Midnight Oil. I just know that he's tall, thin, bald, and has a really thin, long neck, and that's kind of what Wes looked like.
I think he might. Midnight Oil's they're either from England or Australia. Yeah, exactly. And the reason I know them is Silverchair's from Australia, and I've went to about 4 or 5 Silverchair concerts in my 20s, and they covered Midnight Oil. I Don't Want to Be the One. So that's I never really listened to Midnight Oil, but yeah, they're a little punk rock band.
One of the all-time great political songs that has nothing to do with politics in the United States. Beds Are Burning.
That's what. I think you told me that was your favorite one. Yeah.
I do like that one a lot. 877-377-6963. You can talk with me. You can talk with Clay. You can talk with Matt. You'll talk with Christian, because he'll be the one answering the phone on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And we've got Jerry with us in Centerton. Hello, Jerry. What's up?
Well, guys, I have a question for you.
Okay.
A couple of years ago, our baseball team was kind of getting criticized for their RPI not being high enough when it got toward postseason, because we'd played a lot of in-state schools and they evidently weren't enough competition. But I've not heard anything about RPI this year. Is that something that they're not worried about anymore, or am I just missing it?
RPI ranking is second in the country right now, Jerry. It's not going to be a problem. And I remember that year. That was a year Arkansas didn't go on the road to play in the non-conference. The non-conference schedule was weak, and they also it was also a team that struggled a little bit in terms of the SEC regular season. So that's another reason why the RPI went down. But playing UAPB yesterday didn't hurt the RPI. Losing 2 of 3 to Georgia, now that knocked them off the top ranking for the RPI and put it second. But now, because you're playing the rest of the season, you don't have to worry about RPI. And I think with a program like this, and any program that's within the SEC, to me, the deal that happened 2 years ago, Jerry, was a total fluke and an anomaly. You play in the SEC, you're going to have a good RPI ranking as long as you win games in the league. And that's what they're doing right now, and the RPI ranking is great, and it's not going to be an issue this year.
All right, good deal. That's what I was hoping for.
Thanks, Jerry. Appreciate the phone call. 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. And Clay and Matt, thank goodness we don't have to bring up RPI. Thank goodness, because that's just not really exciting to try to break down computer rankings and figure out why they mean what they mean. But that's what I love about that. There are other programs and other conferences where they've got to worry about the RPI ranking the same way that basketball teams worry about the net ranking. When you play in this league for baseball, all you got to do is win games. You win enough games in the league, and I mean in this league. We saw this a couple years ago last year with Florida. 13 SEC wins got them in. 17 SEC losses got them in. You win enough games in this league, and you don't even have to win more than you lose. You'll get into the tournament. You might have to go on the road, but the way this team's playing and the games that they've played and who's on the schedule coming up, they'll stay top 10, probably top 5.
Yeah, you've got series coming up that every single one of these teams could go to Omaha. I mean, I'm talking about SEC teams. Florida can go. I mean, I know the record's bad, but all they got to do is win a few games, just like Texas A&M. If you win games at the end of the year and do well in the conference tournament, you still, just like some of those 500. I'm sorry, Millie's decided to bring her toys out. She's got a pile of them here, and she's running around the house with them. I'm sorry.
Can she maybe squeeze it to the beat of the national anthem? That seems to be the song that I'm hearing a lot today.
Yeah, she could do it. I think so. Well, we could sing along to it, but she dropped it, so that's over with for now. But that was her bunny. She's got an Easter themed bunny that she was squeaking with.
Get her a Cadbury cream egg. See, no, you can't. That's chocolate.
No,
No
can't
chocolate
give
with
that.
dogs. No.
She gets plenty of treats though. She got fajitas last night. She loved them. The steak. I make fajitas with ribeye, so that's a special treat.
How are we with the Cadbury cream eggs? The people have hard, fast feelings about them. I talked with Colton yesterday about it. He can't even look at the things. It makes him sick. I know, Matt, you don't eat candy, so it's not you won't. You probably
I
won't
like
get
dark
into that.
chocolate if we're gonna buy the good dark chocolate.
Yeah,
I'm
we do
into
that
it.
at our house. The dark chocolate. It's
No,
good,
that's
good for
not
you.
this. This is a milk chocolate egg with what they refer to as a creamy fondant center in the middle, which is just basically whipped up sugar.
It is.
So I don't.
It's
not
like
your
it's
speed.
like a Three Musketeer bar almost. Smaller.
Man, do they make them, any of them, like a Mounds or an Almond Joy? Like, are they just come in one flavor for those Cadbury eggs?
You can make caramel. You can make
Oh,
a
okay.
caramel egg too.
See, it's just a little too much, I think. Maybe a Reese's egg. What about the Reese's
they
egg
make
they
those.
make? I could do one of those.
All right.
How do you feel about pastel-colored M&Ms?
They taste really good.
Oh, they do. There's not any difference.
I'm just gonna.
But
eat
we went through a bag of pastel-colored M&Ms in the last 2 days, and I just kept grabbing hands full.
The pastel blue and pastel pink egg color, that must have been what Alton Davis was going for with his shoes the other day. Did you see the Alabama pitcher that was wearing those? He had on a pink shoe and a green shoe, and it looked like they were designed just for Easter. And then he had a 2 or 3 tone glove. Like, I've never seen so many different colors on a ball player's feet and then on his hands. It was really impressive. If Hognoxious was at that game, he'd have let Alton Davis know about it a little bit. And Hognoxious is here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Hognoxious, what's up?
I don't understand why they want to dress like an Easter egg basket.
You wearing the clothes your mother set out there for you?
That's right. That's exactly right. As for the RPI, I have contended for many years that if you will not get swept on the road and you will win all the series at home, you will host. If
You're
you
right.
play in the SEC.
That's exactly what happened in 2018. The difference then, though, Hognoxious, you remember that team swept every home series except one and never got swept on the road, but didn't win any road series.
Right. But you can lose the games once in a while, and losing on the road to Georgia is twice by 1 run is not exactly time to say that, boy, they've got to right the ship. Gee whiz, that's how baseball is, that's what your competition is. And if that was going to crush your soul, you might not want to watch the next 5 weeks because we're going to lose some games because we're on the road and we're against really, really great teams.
We may lose
Can
a game
Millie
this
sing
weekend,
the
too.
national anthem?
You want to sing? You know the words. I know you've only heard it probably like 10,000 times in person.
I've actually done it a couple of times at Palm Stadium. I've done it several times other places. I want to know if Millie can.
She doesn't hold still. She goes room to room, and she's outside a lot. She'll lay on the front porch. Bobby, you need to confirm that I sat with you for a few innings last year.
Oh, it's quite a few innings.
I think I made it to the 7th.
Yep. Stayed there for, well, awful lot of people only make it to the 7th anyway, and you had things to do.
Yeah, I promised my daughter dinner. Yep.
But sitting by me for 7 innings is a long, long time.
But you don't ask questions. You were in your routine.
No, I would think that that it's not a matter of somebody sitting next to you and asking questions and bothering you if it's obnoxious. It's that everybody keeps looking at you because he keeps doing his thing. It's like, and you're just sitting there watching a game, Clay, but everybody keeps looking at you and wondering who's the goofball you're sitting with.
Well, I was taking pictures. I had my phone working. I did video and some other stuff. So we had about 6 pictures to go with that feature. And so when you would have different props, I wanted to get them. So yeah, I got video of him waving the flags. That was cool. So
Yeah,
but we Bobby and I go way back. This isn't something that was just kind of thrown together. I mean, it was planned.
Hey, Hugnoxious, I think there's only one more Sunday baseball devotional left, right? They only have one more Sunday home game.
No, the Sunday home game is going to be the regional. We don't have any Sunday home games in the regular season. It's all gone.
Isn't that wild? Sundays used to be for baseball, but now it's for, I guess you go to church. Well, for Easter Sunday, you got a day planned out for you right there.
Oh, and by the way, let's pretend that we're going to have games on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Let's ignore what we know the weather report to be. Gage Wood is going to start the Friday game. He's going to start the middle game.
All right. Well, there's predictions coming in there from the one and only Hugnoxious. Hugnoxious,
write it down.
We're up against a break. We got to run. I appreciate hearing from you, as always, on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Time for something sweet and delicious. If you just finished lunch, Andy's Frozen Custard in Fort Smith, in Conway, and North Little Rock has you covered with the greatest frozen treats around. Ask about the mint chip concrete. Sounds delicious right now. Frozen custard blended with mint syrup and melted chocolate chips. You can get that and a pick 6. Taking home 6 of your favorite flavors for the perfect treat for family and friends at Andy's Frozen Custard, Conway, Fort Smith, North Little Rock, walk-up or drive-through, always ready to serve you. And back with more halftime right after this quick break.
Who wants an orange whip? Orange whip? Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
This is halftime.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as
Mungo like candy.
This is halftime.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
At Phil Wright Autoplex in Russellville,
we know you have many places to buy a car. Our competitive pricing and no-pressure sales team
has made us your premier GMC and Chevrolet dealer in the River Valley for almost 50 years.
Our impressive inventory is changing daily. Shop online 24/7 at philwright.com.
For a simplified buying process, trust Phil Wright Autoplex. Great inventory, great prices, and an overall great buying experience. Exit 84 off I-40, Russellville.
Equipment down? Got a leak? Lost pressure? Don't let hydraulic problems slow you down. At Central Hydraulics in Fort Smith, we've got the power to keep you moving. From hoses and fittings to full system repairs, our expert team delivers top quality service fast. Central Hydraulics specializes in hydraulic pumps, cylinders, and custom-built solutions, so you can get back to work. Heavy machinery, farming equipment, construction rigs, if it runs on hydraulics, we've got you covered. Visit Central Hydraulics today or call 479-646-0471 for fast, reliable service.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Are you stuck in a paper jam of printer prices? Paper cuts from budget cuts? Don't throw in the towel. Call Dixie Digital Imaging and dive into our new and used inventory blowout. We're slashing prices on top-of-the-line Xerox, Brother, and Epson printers and multifunction devices. Gently used or brand new models that are tired of being in our warehouse. Don't miss out on these deals. Call 479-783-6600 for more details. Quantities and availability are limited. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Do you love fireworks? How'd you like to get paid to shoot them? Light up the night and your career with J&M Displays. J&M Displays is hiring part-time fireworks shooters to help shoot shows all across Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. You'll get free training, great daily pay, and a front row seat to the action. There's nothing like hearing the crowd cheer after a show you helped create. Get started today. Visit jnmdisplays.com. Click the Join the Team tab and light up your future with J&M.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Had a Roman candle with me. Just a Roman candle, you can wear your sandals and I'll pour you just one cup of tea. Then you can go and rest, you haven't seen my best, so just spend an evening with me. Just a lazy evening that you could be leaving all week, staying talking till 3. I will think it's magic and I hope you'll agree, so light a Roman candle with me. Just a Roman candle, just a perfect apple.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Doing the show here at Ball and Walker, so in the radio booth, that means I've got Bubba's bat. This is
Can you do that trick, the bat trick, where they do it and flip it and then catch it?
You mean like just flip a bat and catch it?
No, you know when you go to swing and they can flip it around and get it while they're swinging?
I cannot do that.
Can Bubba do that?
He probably could. That's a batsman. He's a true batsman.
Yeah, I bet, 10,000 hour rule.
Yeah, I'm just practicing, just trying to remember not to go full arm extension. If I remember my batting lessons from Bubba Carpenter earlier, I wonder if Bubba would have been able to catch up to the fastest pitch thrown in all of college baseball this last year. And I was sitting next to Oliver Grigg at Foley Field. He sits in the booth with me for many of the road games. He's the baseball SID. We got TrackMan up. Carson Wiggins is pitching, and like he was geared up. He's throwing 100, 99, 101, and then 102 comes up on the monitor. And I knew that was the fastest pitch that he'd thrown all season. Was pretty sure it's the fastest pitch that any Razorback had thrown. And now D1 Baseball confirms that on the TrackMan monitors, and everybody in college baseball uses this, Carson Wiggins' 102 on Sunday is the fastest pitch thrown all year so far by any pitcher in the country.
It's amazing the average fastball for that series. And I think Dave said it was 95.6 or something. Arkansas had set a record, according to Hunter Bell, in the Vanderbilt series. What their average fastball was the highest they'd ever thrown, and it was it's pretty incredible what they're doing with velocity. And I'm not just talking about pitching, but it's bat speed too, bat velocity, and the ball coming off. But the swings have gotten quicker and quicker. I mean, Ryder Helfrich, his swing is short and so quick. I mean, he can't hardly keep a ball fair. And he's doing a better job of it this year, obviously, but he's still, he's had 4 or 5 hits that, it's like, just need to time it just a little better. Go back up the middle a little more, and like he's doing. But that bat speed is incredibly quick. Just a short, compact swing.
Well, it's the best way to be able to hit a 102-mile-an-hour fastball by having the quickest bat speed you possibly can. I just wonder how the heck can you see the thing? They've only just scratched the surface with Carson.
He's amazing.
It's the same thing, though, as with Jackson Wiggins. His brother, there's just so much potential there. But as a freshman, you're never quite sure, when or how to use, because he's got the starter's repertoire. It's just he's not going to be a starter for the moment. Next year, I think he will. And, Jackson had a chance as a starter and as a closer as a freshman, and then was hurt the next year. So that was the thing that really stunk, is that he got hurt. And I never really felt like you were able to get a chance to see Jackson, Carson's older brother, at his full potential. And, with somebody that throws so hard like Carson does, you can't help but think something like that can happen again. It's just, man, as much potential as there was with Jackson, Carson probably has a little bit more.
Well, let's just talk about his slider, because I did not see a breaking ball like that with Jackson. I mean, he just threw it hard, and it was hard. I mean, it exploded. It was all over. But what he did in this last game as far as throwing strikes with that slider, I mean, I don't know what you do, because it looks like a fastball, and then it moves 6 inches and you miss it. Or you take it on the front end, and it it may be an inch off the plate, and now it's 3 inches in the plate, and they call it. But it's that pitch makes him – I mean, he has the chance to be Skeens, in my opinion. I'm talking about being able to throw it that hard and then have a breaking ball that he can get over. And that's what Skeens had. I mean, and they all talk about, well, you need 4 pitches or whatever. But if you've got 102 – and a 93 slider, I think you can probably just skate on down the road with that.
Yeah, the thing that Skeens that just separated him from everybody else was command.
Yeah, on both sides of the black. You got
the speed and his ability to put it where he wanted to. It just felt like I understand the ability about working on something like that, but I think that was God-given. And then he worked on it, because I think he's really just in his 4th or 5th year as a pitcher. And he's one of the best in the major leagues. Carson does have that kind of stuff. I agree.
Elasticity, yes.
I think the capability for him to be that sort of pitcher is there, but we also have to keep in mind, like, Skeens is a unicorn for the ability to pinpoint with that kind of stuff. And that's why Carson, you'd be a little nervous about giving him the ball with a 1-run lead inheriting runners. It's just because it's so difficult to command anything that you throw that hard, and even the slider that can have such a wicked bite, that the wild pitch could be the thing that scores a run. He might not walk the guy, but he may wild pitch the run in. I can't wait to see what he'll do as a starter. It's not going to be this year. Let's go to the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Brent in Searcy is there. Hey, Brent. Good afternoon. What's up?
Hey, Phil. How are you, Clay and Matt today?
Fantastic.
All good.
Me too. Sitting out on my back patio eating lunch. Couldn't have a better day.
What you having?
What am I having? A baked potato with cheese, sour cream, and butter, and some nachos.
Cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
There you go. Hey, Phil, I'm going to be up there tomorrow for the game. If we can run into each other, I got you a surprise.
Oh man, I'm almost a little bit nervous to find out what this surprise could be. It can go 2 ways, Brent.
I can promise you, on my mama's name, it's a great surprise.
All right, well, I believe you. We'll work it out. I know we've been texting on our Lewis Automotive Group text line, so we'll figure out the place and the time to get it done. Okay.
Okay, Phil, what's our pitching lineup look like for tomorrow?
Yeah, that's going to be the question, Dave. You mean just for tomorrow? Well, it'll be Zach Root and then Aiden Jimenez would be my guess. The question would be, Jimenez pitched twice last weekend, Friday and Sunday. So that's the first time that I remember him pitching, throwing that many pitches on a weekend. And the series starts earlier this time around on a Thursday. So I'm not saying he won't be available. It's just they've been initially cautious as to how to use Jimenez because he was coming back from Tommy John surgery. For instance, anytime they would get him up in the bullpen, they had to pitch him. They had to pitch him. It wasn't a matter, well, get up and sit down and we'll get you hot again. That was some of the caution that they were using. They're not worried about that anymore. Now they've used him twice on a weekend, and he looked good doing it. So I think it's not like the gloves are off and you just use them the same way you did with Cops. But I don't think they're not worried about him re-injuring the arm, and I do think he's all the way back. So I think Jimenez could throw tomorrow in relief of Zach Root because that's been game one weekends pretty much for the last 3-4 weeks.
Has anything today happened in the portal? I've been out and about. Has anything happened for the Razorbacks today after yesterday's big day?
All we know is that there's a wide receiver that did not. Who just come in enrolling in the spring that went into the portal, Quentin Murphy. I also see, all right, so while we've been on the air here, and I guess that Dave had his press conference a little while ago, the rotation has been released, and it is Root on Thursday, and this is the surprise for me. Gage Wood is back in the rotation for Friday's game. Landon Beidelshe's on Saturday. So I thought Bybee might be the one that would get the start, and they would sort of inch Wood back. But Wood gets the start, so that's really good news. That means that he has passed his bullpens with absolute flying colors. Best news you could actually have because over the first maybe, 2 games, not a game in 2 innings for Gage Wood, there wasn't an Arkansas pitcher that looked any better than him before this shoulder impingement. All right, we'll have some more thoughts on that in a moment because we're right up against a break. 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline, and we're back in a moment.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious, and don't call me Shirley.
This is halftime.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Do you love fireworks? How'd you like to get paid to shoot them? Light up the night and your career with J&M Displays. J&M Displays is hiring part-time fireworks shooters to help shoot shows all across Arkansas, Kansas, Missouri, and Nebraska. You'll get free training, great daily pay, and a front row seat to the action. There's nothing like hearing the crowd cheer after a show you helped create. Get started today. Visit jnmdisplays.com. Click the Join the Team tab and light up your future with J&M.
The hens are a yelping and the toms are a gobbling. That means it's time for turkey season. Strut on in to Jelco Outdoors for all your turkey hunting gear. The largest selection of mouth calls, friction calls, box calls, and locator calls in the area. Ammo with a large selection of TSS turkey loads. Plus a great selection of shotguns for youth and adults in 410, 20, and 12 gauge. Get ready for spring turkey season at Jelco Outdoors, home of the World Slam. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday services and long life attic pest control. Call 782-7291. West Termite and Pest Control, protecting your home health and peace of mind.
Hit the greens for a meaningful cause at Mercy Fort Smith's Birdies for Babies Golf Classic on May 12th at Hartscrabble Country Club. This 4-person scramble features morning and afternoon tee times, with all proceeds benefiting maternal child services and our Level 3A NICU, helping keep families close to home. Enjoy a great day of golf while helping provide essential care for moms and babies right here in the community. Sign up today at mercyhealthfoundation.net/birdies4babies or call 479-314-1133 for more information.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more. Call or text Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747. That's 479-274-1747. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
Before you gotta go, 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 I wanted you to know, no, 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 you're always on my mind. You're always on my mind. If something were to happen, my dear, I wouldn't want the last words you hear to be unkind. To be unkind. We got angry, said some careless things. Who was wrong remains unclear. Pride like poison, always keeping score. You don't have to slam the door.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
A quick segment as we get into our third hour in a moment here on halftime. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Clay Henry, and Christian Johnston producing here. Do you guys see? This is one of the all-time great television names. Wink Martindale passed away yesterday at age 91. He was an all-time game show host. I remember him from Tic Tac Dough. I used to watch. Used to watch it with a baby when I was. I think this went off the air like in '84 or '85, and I remember watching it. My parents go out at night. The babysitter would put that on. It's like I don't remember much about the show except the name and Wink's name and his look. It's kind of the same as like Card Sharks and $25,000 Pyramid, but then you would say there's only one Wink Martindale, but there's two. There's the defensive coordinator at Michigan, no relation. His name's Don. Wink, the legendary game show host, was Winston Conrad Martindale, who also was a very good friend of Elvis Presley. I think even before Presley got big. So it's an interesting life and an interesting name. Tic Tac Dough. You do remember that show, Clay?
I do not.
You don't?
I do not.
I still remember those games.
I'm sure I watched it, though.
I'm sure you did.
We didn't have many choices in those days.
Hour number 3 coming up, 877-377-6963, Lewis Automotive Group hotline. We got 2 basketball transfers coming into Arkansas to talk about. We get the transfer portal in college football wide open, and Gage Wood is back in the Razorback starting rotation. All of that and more coming up in hour number 3.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Are you a middle-aged man feeling low on energy, struggling with weight gain, a decreased libido, or even battling depression? You don't have to feel this way any longer. Hi, this is Stephen Pittman, a licensed nurse practitioner and expert on testosterone replacement therapy. At Pittman TRT in Fort Smith, our priority is to restore your vitality and energy the way you felt in your 20s. No need to drive an hour or more. Call or text Pittman TRT today at 479-274-1747. That's 479-274-1747. Pittman TRT. Get back to feeling like your old self again.
Wave Rural Connect is excited to introduce our new 300 megabit internet service. Perfect for streaming, remote work, and homework for just $64.95 a month. Get no worries, cyber safe managed Wi-Fi for a total of $71.95. Order today at signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. We're adding new services and expanding our areas for you. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV. With hands-free driving assistance, go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $800 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, lots of sunshine. Our high temperatures this afternoon, low to mid-70s. We could encounter a stray shower or thunderstorm late tonight, especially across the north. Overnight lows will drop down mid-50s. Thursday, right back to sunshine. A warmer day. Highs on Thursday into the low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. You're listening to ESPN 95.3.
Just hit the ball hard. Doesn't really matter where it ends up. It's cool when it ends up over the fence.
Coming to you live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Well, ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
From the bottom of my toes to the top of my head. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
The angles were so bad, we showed them at halftime.
What they were one Razorback.
Like, what in the world were we thinking?
It's vintage Matt Jones.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Busy, busy day at Baum Walker Stadium, the site, of course, of halftime, at least part of it today. That's where I am for hosting today, tomorrow, and we'll see about Friday. I have a sense we'll have some news tomorrow about what the rest of the weekend can look like for baseball, with Saturday looking like terrible rain and very windy conditions tomorrow and Friday, but shouldn't be any problem to get baseball games in. Football portal open, 2 basketball commits to get to, and a new starting pitcher that was an old starting pitcher for Arkansas so far in Gage Wood. And also, Matt, who won Champions League yesterday? Who moved on?
Who moved on to Champions League yesterday? You would think that I would know that off the top of my head.
I remember you watching it yesterday. features editor from Whole Hog Sports, Clay Henry, with us as well. And there may be a special guest to make it through here in the booth at some point here in hour number 3.
PSG, they go through, and then Barcelona, because it's aggregate. So PSG 5-3. They actually lost 3-2 to Villa yesterday, but they go through. And then Barcelona 5-3 on aggregate. They go through.
I keep forgetting it's aggregate.
You get Inter Milan in the second leg. We call it second leg. So you get Inter Milan versus Bayern Munich today. It's 2-1. Inter's up right now on aggregate, and they're going to be playing in Milano. So the first game was in Bayern. So it's advantage home team. You got a 1-goal lead, and then Arsenal, who nobody likes Arsenal. Arsenal doesn't even like themselves. They have to go to Spain to play Real Madrid, but they have a 3-0 lead walking in to start the game. So that's going to be pretty intense.
If it was aggregate for baseball, Arkansas won the series against
I was
Georgia
thinking
last
the same thing. I mean, Phil, that is dangerous if we're thinking the same things. It is
Scary.
really it's scary. Yeah. Yeah, it would change the way you play the end of that first game,
The
wouldn't it?
Yankees would have beat the Arizona Diamondbacks in that World Series as well.
25-17 would have been the final score for an aggregate 3-game series in which you'd have lost 2 games but still won the series.
Yeah, I mean, if you did aggregate, Arkansas is undefeated this year.
Oh, man, that's funny. Well, you can't – please, let's never do aggregate in baseball. I'm fine with soccer doing aggregate, but let's not do that in this thing. Yeah, that would have made Sunday a little different. Like, what is the whole extra inning thing for if this actually isn't deciding who wins the series? 877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Matt, Chris in Springdale says nobody likes Arsenal except all of Pink Floyd.
Well, that actually would be the first feather in the cap for me liking Arsenal, because Arsenal is that they're there with like Tennessee and Texas. Nobody likes Arsenal.
They're the Yankees.
Yeah, no, Arsenal doesn't even like Arsenal.
Well, let's get to the two men's basketball commits out of the transfer portal, Malik Ewan and Nick Pringle. Ewan, I think he led the ACC in field goal percentage last year, and that's with taking just one three-point shot, almost 60% from the field, 14 points a game, 7.5 rebounds, a little over 1.5 assists. Seems like a multi-talented offensive player that, according to him, reading in Whole Hog, he's told by John Calipari the offense is going to go through him. He's going to be handling the ball a lot.
How many? So one of the things too, when you're going to do that, Phil, I look at their assist numbers for both these bigs that are going to be coming in. If we're going to be running the game, because you're looking at all these point forwards in the NBA, you're looking at Janai Broome and Auburn. They ran it through their bigs. South Carolina kind of ran it through their bigs. Do they have the ability to see the floor, read the game, and make passes? Because I get it, you're big, you're tall, you play defense, you're physical, you can get to the rim. But if we're really going to run it through you, you got to kind of understand concepts and be able to make some passes.
There's what you're saying is correct. In other words, the ball comes to the post, can it come back out of the post? And if you ever watch Corliss play, if he got a double team, then he found the three-point shooter was open. And they had three-point shooters. The problem that they had at South Carolina last year is they didn't have three-point shooters, so the ball goes to the post guy's going to have to finish, because if he kicks it out, there's nothing good going to happen. Pringle is valuable because if you play Texas Tech again and you have to put a body on top, and he can do it.
And that other guy that was killing us, that they were going kind of running the ball.
Two guys,
yeah, exactly right.
Hey, I got to give credit to Ty Richardson for being the first to. He had a little Ty tidbit. This was last week about. He said Nick Pringle be the first commit, and he was. And I guess it was 30 minutes before Ewan did.
So we got a feather in the cap for Arsenal, and we got a feather in the cap for Ty today, man. It's been a good day.
I can't wait for him to become the Jeff Passan of Razorback basketball at some point. But hey, and he's right about this. He doesn't shoot the shot too often, but if you do shoot, you better hit. And he did. So well done on that. So, but now you get some veteran big guys up front. Pringle, I think, is more of like a Grizzly kind of a forward, more of a power forward. Ewan, I think, is, and I think he can be a shot blocker, but I don't think of him as a banger necessarily. But I think you're gonna have a pretty experienced front court, and the word can be inexperienced, but immensely talented backcourt in the freshmen that are coming in Thomas and in Darius Acuff. I know Seeley, is more of a swingman, and I still don't know what to expect out of Kareem Artail, who's playing in. I think he's the Lebanese kid that's playing in Turkey. So how many more roster spots are available? How many more portal gets do you think you're looking at? Because my thought wasn't so much of it has to do with Knox, Richmond, Brazil. I didn't know if there'd be more than 2 or 3 portal gets, but to me, the next thing you got to wonder about would be Nate Ament, the big kid who Duke and Arkansas and Louisville, and I don't remember if it was UConn that's after him. That's one of the next dominoes to fall. And the more you don't hear from Knox and Richmond, they're coming back. That's how it feels right now. Same with Brazil, and even the same with Wagner, because it's been very quiet on the front with all of them.
I think you're right, Phil. And I haven't been concerned about any of this. Thought it would all happen, and you knew that you're going to get the South Carolina and Florida State kids on the same day, and you did. And as soon as they visit, when the visits happen, it seems like they're locked down on that day. There are no more visits, even though some of these guys said they were going to take. I mean, I think that who you take might depend on who's available. In other words, you're not going to take guys just to take some more. I don't think if he can get the right guys, he probably might take another guy in the portal.
Did you guys see? And of course, Arkansas and Kentucky are always going to be bandied together because of what happened a year ago. One of the Kentucky recruits, I don't think if Arkansas was going after Lamar Wilkerson, the Sam Houston guard. Mark Pope took a photo with Wilkerson at Keeneland the other day after a race in the winner's circle, and all the Kentucky fans are all fired up. Oh, that means he's going to come here. He's going to come here. And then yesterday he committed to Indiana.
Yeah, you don't ever know. It's not over until it's over, right?
Wilkerson said, "It was a pleasure to be recruited by Kentucky, but I didn't want to go to Kentucky and just be another guy." He says, "Hoosiers basketball is a big-time name, and they haven't been where they wanted to be. I trust Coach DeVries and what he's bringing in, the type of coach he is, and how he's going to put us in a position to win. Hoosier basketball will be back." And, Wildcats fans, they get touchy about anything about their program. Literally anything about their program. Be very, very touchy about. 877-377-6963. Calls and texts on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Want to thank WT Equipment, always on our show here. Your home for New Holland ag and construction equipment, sales, parts, and service. High horsepower row crop tractors, combines, utility tractors, hay equipment, compact track loaders, and mini excavators. WT Equipment obviously has it all. Stop by any of their 8 locations and explore the value of New Holland tractors. You can see why New Holland hay equipment and twin rotor combines are second to none in harvesting ability. Upgrade your construction equipment at WT Equipment. Call or come by a store or check out their website at WTEquip.com. WT Equipment, your partner in progress. Front Office Sports had an interesting story and a different view on the Nico Iamaleava situation it's no longer really just at Tennessee. We don't know where the situation is going to continue for him next. But we'll get into that in a moment on Halftime.
I think it's your girlfriend called.
Text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963. Lewis Automotive Group, home of the Lewis Guarantee.
We were watching Judy Garland the other day. Come on, get happy. Yeah, no. It was in that Warby Girls movie we watched. No, Come on, get happy is the Partridge Family. Come on, get happy. That's another song. That's another song. There are 2 songs called Come On. I know you can't fathom this, but there are 2 songs with the same title that are different.
It's a terrible title. Why would you name 2 songs Come On, Get Happy?
Ruskin and Zach, 2 to 7 weekdays, only on ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback. Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas. More than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
White perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Get luxury without the splurge with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 Classic box, as saucy as ever. The $7 Supreme box, packed with decadent favorites. And the $9 Discovery box brings new indulgences like toasted cheddar street chalupas. It's the Lux you want for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell.
Lewis Automotive has been serving Northwest Arkansas for over 75 years and just getting started.
Our knowledgeable sales team is here to find you the perfect vehicle to fit not only your lifestyle, but also your budget.
Our factory-trained service technicians keep your vehicle running at optimal level.
And if you're looking for genuine parts and accessories, our team has exactly what you need.
Relax in our comfortable lounge, and when your car's ready, we'll return it to you spotless.
Thank you for being a part of our story.
Come see us at Lewis Automotive Group, where you're more than a customer, you're family.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Introducing the Azalea
So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick.
Built for comfort.
So let's take you back to the concrete streets.
Check out our
Original
latest
beats and
drop.
real live MCs. Playground tactics. So let's take you back to the concrete streets. Original beats and real live MCs. Playground tactics, a rabbit and a hat trick. Just that classic rap.
Get 20% off on your first order with the code RUSH25.
Thanks. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South C Road, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Freaks ride around on wheelchairs, motorized by electric motors made by goblins in a factory overseas. They're there to buy drywall and other products so they can eat back at home on the sofa. Hey, what's TV about a man named Chandler Bing who died in a freak hot tubbing accident? He spent his time drinking hot dog flavored water on a popular TV show called Tub Girls.
Clothes and food and drugs for free. If it was 1970, I'd have a job in a factory. That's made of me, and you're in the end, and look at me. I ain't almost got everything that I see. I went as long as the
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Well, the last update I saw on the Razorback college football transfer portal was just the freshman receiver, Quentin Murphy, who was on campus for maybe 4 months and then is now going to be looking
Writing
for
on the
another
wall
school.
type of thing, you think? Kind of.
It has to be.
Right, yeah.
It may be a tough group of wide receivers to crack through.
I was going to say, I think as far as depth-wise, Phil, that our receiving group might be a lot. I mean, actually, it will be deeper than last year's group. Who will emerge? Will an Andrew Armstrong emerge? I don't know. What's the latest you've heard with Courtney Crutchfield? Has there been positive reports?
Whole Hog Sports features editor Clay Henry with us here. Clay, you've been to practice a few times, right?
A couple times, and I'm going to go Saturday. Of course, it may get rained out, just like everything else Saturday. You might not be seeing any sports action. Doesn't sound positive anyway. But what you see with the wide receivers is the same kind of stuff that you saw last spring. The mesh with the quarterback and the receivers isn't quite there yet, but it's all those receivers are learning the Bobby Petrino offense, and they're learning the option routes, and sometimes they're on the same page, sometimes they're not. And that's going to be a work in progress. I think that they got some real talent there. I like Omega Blake and a lot, but I also like the tight ends. What I saw at practice was that the quarterback used the middle of the field, but I'm talking about Taylor Green, which they didn't do last year. He seemed to be looking on the outside most of the time. And I think that probably frustrated Luke Haas, and he's not here. But they've got a deep tight end room, more blockers than they had. They're more balanced in that aspect. That they've got the Texas A&M transfer is a big body that can catch it. He's really talented. But I liked what I saw blocking-wise from him. Montana State transfer, terrific. I think he's the prototypical NFL tight end, a longer guy that can run routes, can also do inline blocking. But I think you'll see more balance between the wide receiver and the tight end room and how the quarterbacks are using it, which is a good sign.
What have you seen anything from Crutchfield? Sam said he expects he's going to be a big part of the offense.
Yeah, he didn't show out the day I was really watching him. And, I'm going to be real honest, I watched more of the offensive line, defensive line than I did anything that particular day, just because of where I was standing, and you're on the field in your angles, and sometimes you can't see what's going on the other side wide receiver-wise. If they throw the ball to him, yeah, you see it, but you can't see route running from field level. That's the worst place to watch something like that. But you can see line play, especially on the edge, and that's what I was focused on. And I think they're much, much improved in the offensive line, but you really have to be careful in the spring because you're playing against your guys. And as we saw at times, the defensive ends were dominated the offensive tackles the last 2 years a lot in practice. And was that superior defensive line play or poor offensive? I think it probably was poor offensive line play, because you didn't see defensive ends just record a bunch of sacks when we got into games. So what are you going against? And when you're going good on good in practice, how good are both sides at being good?
Yeah. You always wonder about that too. And another thing Sam says is he talks about the numbers, being imbalanced between offense and defense.
It's obvious, Phil. It's obvious. You just stand at practice and you look out there when they're warming up, they're in their lines, and you see all these white jerseys, and that's offense. And you don't see, you see like 15, what seems like maybe 20 less. Now, you got some players hurt and out, and they're not out there during that period. So some of those guys were going, you'll have a few more defensive players because there's some defensive guys out right now. They've got, and I think I've read that they really feel pressed to add 5 defensive players.
Wow.
A couple in the defensive line and then a couple in the secondary.
Well, some of the best defensive players from last season came in the spring portal, right? When Larry Worth and Steven Dix coming in.
So I think you have to be careful at what you think you're going to get.
Yeah.
So there will not be an Xavier Sorey or Drew Sanders in the portal available. So all the Power 5 conferences, they're locking up their first and second teams. Arkansas has done that. Now there's some guys that can break contract or whatever, and you might litigate. And I think that's the next thing we're going to see, guys that break contracts and they get and I think Nico at Tennessee, he could get litigated because I'm sure he has a contract. He broke terms by not practicing spring. I mean, there's definitely some fallback there, but you're not going to see. So Drew Sanders, he didn't have a big NIL deal. Xavier Sorey didn't have, but now with revenue sharing, you're going to lock up all those first and second teamers. So a backup from Georgia is not leaving. Now a third teamer might, but that's you really have to look at somebody that's bouncing out of one of these Power 4 conferences into the portal. Were they coveted? Are they a player? Do you want them? Because the 8 to 10 they're going to get cut at the end of this. That's who's going to be available. It's not they're leaving; they got cut. So yeah, I think that you're going to get somebody from Louisiana Tech or McNeese or Western Kentucky. Arkansas had some luck with those type players, but they're not coming. You're not going to get a backup from Alabama or Georgia ever again, I don't think.
I kind of wondered if this spring portal, since it feels like it's uncapped, that you may get some names that you didn't expect in there. But I tell you what, the point that you're making is the schools have already planned ahead for this house settlement, and so locking people
a lot more money available.
Guys up. Yeah, more money available, but that also means you pay more money to the people that you want to keep currently.
That's right.
Who are on last year's team that you want to keep right now.
That's right. Yep. The bottom of your roster has, I'm talking about, 50 to 85. Those guys, they weren't making a lot of money. They're going to make more money now at the bottom end of these football rosters, because that's where the money. I mean, the way I understand it, it's like $15 million for Arkansas. That they've got money to pay the bottom end of their roster, and so does Alabama and Georgia and LSU and those teams. So that they're not those players, just because they're not starters and they're not going to get the playing time they want, but they're going to make $300,000. Well, they're going to stay.
The Sanders situation, though, I just always understood that he wasn't going to. That he and the coaching staff at Alabama just viewed where he should play differently, and he got the chance to do that at Arkansas. There'll still be those kind of stories out there, though, right? I would imagine there are.
Well, he wasn't playing, so he didn't. He was a backup defensive end, and he thought he could play inside linebacker, and he could. But he still was if you watched him play at Arkansas, what did they do? They lined him. They put him down quite a bit. So that's what they were going to do. Saban was upset, and they fired that defensive coach after that year that happened, and they were devastated that he left, and because they had great plans for him. But if they had given him $400,000-$500,000, he wouldn't have left Alabama. It's just a whole different deal.
This Nico Iamaleava situation is Front Office Sports has a story that came out earlier. They spoke to, I don't think they spoke to his father, Nick. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce his first name, but they spoke to people that are within the Iamaleava camp, and what they're saying is that there was never, at least now, a demand for more NIL. I think that did happen before their playoff game, and in the wake of the playoff loss and the winter portal opening, I think then there was a request for a higher salary from the Tennessee NIL group. But from what FOS is talking about here is that the Iamaleava camp also made requests to Tennessee in terms of upgrading their offensive personnel, and they felt like it hadn't happened. So
he wanted offensive linemen.
Yes, there will be another. There's got to be another perspective from this that isn't just about money first and foremost. Because I do know that Tennessee, they only added four players out of the portal in the winter, and they lost their entire offensive line. They've lost their running back. They've lost their top receivers. They had Nico there, but potentially this could be more about. I mean, it could be both things together. But there's also got to be the idea that the quarterback didn't think that he was being surrounded by the right amount of talent. Now that's coming from the Iamaleava camp to front office sports.
Yep. Yeah, I've got some friends that are high up at Tennessee. You could probably figure it out. And they are their top end is pointing right at the dad. I mean, and they said that Nico is not a problem, has not been a problem, and he's thrown up his shoulders several times. His hands like, hey, it's not me. So, but it's so. There's always two sides to every story.
But that's how it should be. The father should be stepping up for the son and taking some of that, like LeVar Ball. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. The dad's okay with them I promise you, the dad's okay with every single person pointing the blame at the dad. I guarantee he's taking up for his boy.
And I believe that he'll land on his feet. Everyone that says that he won't, I mean, he is a gifted talent. And I don't blame him for the stuff that happened in games where you think, well, he's a true freshman. And he played so well early against teams that he should play well early against. Yeah, I don't think that you could expect him to carry them to the national championship as a true freshman. There's nobody ready to do that. And I don't care how talented he is, but I believe that he's going to make a lot of money at the next school that takes him. And there'll be somebody. And I don't think they can, that there'll be a Power 4 blackball. He's not going to get blacklisted. He's going to find somewhere that is willing to pay him a large chunk, and the offense will probably fit him.
See, what do you have? Todd Marinovich, that dad, as far as you start talking about fathers and these superstar sons, and then you think of LeVar Ball, which one of them handled it the right way, one of them probably didn't handle it the right way.
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's been like that everywhere throughout history.
What about, Lamar Jackson's mom? That's his agent. Who's the number one superstar quarterback for the Redskins that Jaden Daniels, his mom's his agent as well.
Yeah. Well, they're probably not dictating what offense is being run.
That doesn't make sense, though. Like, I don't know a coach in the history of coaching that listens to the pops on hey, this is the offense we have to run. They don't listen to anybody.
Yeah. Eli Manning's dad said what pro team was going to draft him, didn't he?
Well, there's another one, and I think they both handled it well. I mean, you look at what's Dion doing with Shedeur, kind of the same type of thing.
Absolutely.
Kind of with Travis Hunter. I don't think there's anything wrong with the dad sticking up for their boy. Now, you don't get to call the offense. I mean, that's not a real thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is very much entertaining, and it is also incredibly unique to the times that we're in, but there's going to be more of it, in my opinion. There's so much money. It is unreal how much money it is, and the families, a
lot of these kids,
it's their money too,
right? A lot of these kids,
that's his money. He knows it is.
They're done playing football by the age of 30. No matter what
get it when you can.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if somebody's going to give you 200% more money, you're getting 1.7 from one school, and then somebody comes up and says they're going to give you $4 million. Man, that's kind of tough. Not to. I mean, now if they say we're going to give you 1.9, then you kind of is like, well, 200. But if they're going to double it like that, I mean, Coach Z, he probably has enough strings where he could just double salaries like that.
Yeah. So I've studied assistant coach salaries when, the Bielema staff, and there were a lot of guys, they were leaving for a different job, and it was always a promotion in that it might be $40,000 to $50,000 more money, more dollars. And I would hear people, they left for $40,000. I'm like, well, somebody offers me a new job, it's $40,000 more. I'm going. I mean, it's just, we don't understand that $200,000 is a lot of money. I Matt. I mean, it's like it's, and if you invest it right, that's pretty good money down the line. So it's really hard for me to be critical of any of these players for leaving, and they suddenly have $100,000 more that year. It's a lot of money.
877-377-6963 is our Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Break in a moment, reminding you first about Tucker Construction and Remodeling. It's your source for all things construction, everything from tear it out to build it back. And right now, their biggest investment of all, asbestos abatement. When it comes to asbestos, you got to make sure you got professionals doing it. Tucker Construction and Remodeling is the professional that you need. They inspect your property. They'll take care of all the removal of all the asbestos. It's everything from tear it out to build it back. For over 30 years of experience of a truly local team, it's Tucker Construction and Remodeling. Give them a call at 479-650-6453. Tucker Construction and Remodeling. They serve the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, Branson, and much more. Stay with us. Matt Zimmerman's walked into the radio booth here at Baum. We'll put a headset on his head, and we'll talk with him and have a lot more to go through in just a moment on Halftime.
Last issue. Chaz Michaels is figure skating.
This is Halftime. Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
The hens are a yelping and the toms are a gobbling. That means it's time for turkey season. Strut on in to Jelco Outdoors for all your turkey hunting gear. The largest selection of mouth calls, friction calls, box calls, and locator calls in the area. Ammo with a large selection of TSS turkey loads. Plus a great selection of shotguns for youth and adults in 410, 20, and 12 gauge. Get ready for spring turkey season at Jelco Outdoors, home of the World Slam. Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Picture it. It's a day like any other. You're stuck in traffic on Rogers Avenue during rush hour. You're just ready to get home and relax with your family. And then, just like that, your life can change in an instant. And you're going to need a lawyer to make it right. I'm Phil Votaw with Phil Votaw & Associates. If this happens to you, call me, 479-434-6200, or online at votawlaw.com. I'm Phil Votaw, and you've never met a lawyer like me.
Remodeling your bathroom? Don't let your imagination be limited by out-of-the-box shower doors or tub enclosures. Arkansas Glass and Mirror is your local source for all things glass, including plexiglass, mirrors, and shower doors since 1964. Arkansas Glass and Mirror has more selections, better prices, and the experience to help you build the shower of your dreams. They also have the only showroom in the area to help you create those dreams. Professional installation and professional service. Only at Arkansas Glass and Mirror, 1316 South Zero, Fort Smith, or online at arkansasglassandmirror.com.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office, and they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
These nights, sometimes I'm scared. My eyes see the death and no one cares. In the deepness of the night, the state of mind is pretty bad. In the morning, I am the sun. Take my hand, let's just stop from scratch again. A new day full of surprises waiting for you, my friend. They will never know what's so wrong.
Find Halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 79 years. Home of the Lewis Guarantee. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Boy, we've got a litany of Hall of Famers here. We got Matt Jones. We've got features editor from Whole Hog Sports, Clay Henry. Got Coach Matt Zimmerman from the Razorback Foundation and the Arkansas basketball broadcast and football broadcast as well. Z, what's going on, man? Good to see you.
I'm just honored to be here with Matt Jones as always, and you throw Clay in there and yourself in there. It's awesome, and we're sitting at Baum Walker Stadium. It's just a beautiful day. Last night was beautiful. I stayed the whole game, enjoyed it, and I was kind of rooting for Pine Bluff to stay within 10 runs, and they did it.
They did
all
it
the way until the last pitch of the game.
Ninth inning, that's right.
Yeah, and it was kind of entertaining, and it was fun. It was a really good crowd. Of course, it's always sold out, but there was a few more empties than normal. But I think it's just because we were going to play Thursday. It's a quick turnaround.
Hey, Coach Z, I love talking basketball with you, and why I got you here before we get into some college stuff, I want to ask you one NBA question, Coach. The Thunder are the #1 seed in the West. The Cavs are the #1 seed in the East. Which one of those teams could actually win? Nobody's talking about either one of those teams kind of win the title. Do you think one of those teams could actually win the NBA championship this year?
I really do. I think both of them have a chance to. The Cavaliers are really good, and they've had just such a special season, and obviously they're so good on offense. They score so many points, but now you're hearing the commentators, you're people talking about how improved their defense is, and they've got a lot to prove because you're right. Everyone thinks it's going to be the Celtics or the Lakers, and there's still talk of the Nuggets, and now the Golden State won that tough game last night against the Memphis Grizzlies. They're still in the hunt. The Clippers are playing well, but you don't hear much about the 2 #1 seeds. But Oklahoma City could for sure win it. And 2 guys from your old school, Fort Smith, Northside, they're key pieces. Now, they're not Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, he's probably going to be the MVP. It's amazing, Matt, how great of a season Jokic had, and he's not going to be the MVP probably. It would have been his 4th MVP award. He's dominated the league. But they've had some stuff going on in Denver, and they hadn't been quite as good. They're still a great basketball team, but definitely either one of those #1 seeds could definitely win the championship.
Can I just stay in the NBA with you here just for a moment?
I like it.
Did you see Nico Harrison is doubling down on the trade? He's telling people that his job is to not do what's best for fans and not do what's best for whomever. It's to do what's best for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
And I just don't know if it's not like he's going to stand there and a month or so after the trade lament the trade that he made, but you're still shoveling,
no, you
a bunch of stuff into people's mouths that they're not believing.
Yeah, I understand he was trying to stick up for this. Obviously, it was a really, really bad decision, and it seemed like he was working for the Lakers. I mean, he almost kind of gave
He was
the
a
Lakers.
spy, that's for
the
sure.
Lakers were not going to win the title with what they had going on. Phil, the Lakers can absolutely win the championship with Luka, and they're going to have a great chance to win the championship.
Name a last time, if you want to say Dirk Nowitzki wasn't a top 3 player, he might have been.
Yeah.
You want to say the Pistons, like Rasheed Wallace, didn't have a top 3 player? Okay, maybe so. Name a time NBA teams like won a championship without a top 3 or top 5 player. It doesn't happen, and you just traded one to the Lakers.
LeBron's still LeBron, and he's not probably a top 10 player right now, but he's probably top 15, and he's been one of the best players in the league for 20 years, and you give him a running buddy like Luka, who is a top 5 player. I mean, I love how the NBA does it, that 5 guys make first team all NBA, 5 guys make second team, 5 guys make third team every year, 15 guys, that's it. And he's made first team 5 times in a row.
Says something, doesn't it?
I mean, he's one of the top 5 players in the league, dominating, and then you just hand him to a team that's got one of the greatest players of all time. Man, the Mavericks really, really helped out the Los Angeles Lakers.
All right, and while we got you in another 5 minutes until our commercial break.
Okay.
The 2 commitments for men's basketball: Pringle, power forward, Ewan, scoring center. When we bring it in, guys who are big men, who are older. Front court, maybe a younger back court. What do you think of this?
I love bringing in guys with size. He's always going to have big teams, big guards, big postmen, long athletic guys. That's what he's going to go for. And these guys that are going to be coming are big. I mean, Nick Pringle, South Carolina, he was really good at Alabama. He used that length. He can jump out of the gym. I thought he was much better at Alabama than he was this past year at South Carolina. Now, he kicked our butt. On that Saturday when they hadn't won a game in the league and they beat us, he was outstanding. The 18 points, he dominated our bigs. But they're both good, and I like what you just said there. They're older. They're experienced guys. They've been through a lot of SEC battles. Hopefully that helps us. We need that. We need size. We need some men. We need some guys that'll smack somebody and fight and claw for rebounds and be aggressive. And Pringle can dunk, block shots, chain shots, and we're going to need that.
Man, Clay, I think Pringle with guards is what you're talking about, why he was better at Alabama. And he's going to be with guards in this. But South Carolina, they had 2 bigs, and their guards were just okay.
That's right. Yeah.
And we'll have elite guards with him, and he'll prosper, flourish.
No, that's very well said. South Carolina, out of our 16 teams in our league, they were probably 14th, 15th, 16th in the league in guard play. They had a great player, Colin Murray Boyles, and then they had Nick Pringle. And other than that, they lacked. You're right. He will be much, much better because he's going to get to catch a lot of lob dunks from DJ and the 2 freshman guards that we have are outstanding. They are 2 great players, and we haven't had 2 top 10 guards like that in a good long. Todd Day, Lee Mayberry. You can argue it with Anthony Black, and Jordan wasn't really just a true guard.
What about Anthony Black getting his first playoff experience, Coach? I love watching him prosper.
He was so good last night in that game, and he is last year as a rookie, like most rookies, Matt, he was just okay, and I don't think he was very happy with his rookie year as the 6th pick in the draft. This year, he's been way better, and he's been outstanding really since Christmas, and he was good last night. And they're going to need him if Orlando's going to make a run in the playoffs.
Man, don't you think that Knox in Richmond will take a big jump next year?
Yeah, and it's big to get Knox back. I was so worried about him, Clay, because he played so well down the stretch. He was the guy with these size 17 shoes and these long arms, and he can shoot the ball well, and he's athletic, and he's strong. I was like, he's the guy we could – he's tough. He's the guy we could lose. Was he ready? He needs some more work. But he's the guy the NBA would snag and take right off the bat. I've been worried about him, but I'm glad he's going to be back. That's huge for the Razorbacks. Billy, too. Billy was really good for us, but Billy's not quite there as far as his skill level, being able to shoot like Carter.
Matt's got a position for him for the football team. He wants him as a safety.
He can play a strong safety. He's tough and fast. Come in there, and you're right. He always plays at 11. He's got to get a little hesitation to his game and understand that you are faster and better athlete than most people on the floor, but learn how to be an artist, learn how to be savvy, learn how to do something, because you see the skill set there. You're just kind of waiting for it to come to fruition.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And but it's a great thing for the coaching staff to have those guys back. TB, who's going to be in his 5th year of college basketball. As long as all these guys end up being back like we think they're going to be, you got a strong base. And you still don't know what's going to happen with the dude Thero. He could come back. Boogie Fland, will he come back? I know they've declared, but you just don't ever know what happened. A lot of different things happen, and minds change in April and May. And some of that's going to be some interesting stuff to watch here.
Well, let's squeeze in a call from Cecil before the break, and we're kind of right up against it, Cecil. And I know the next bit of information that I would guess is they're waiting on is a decision from Nate Ament. But Cecil here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline has told us you ain't going to get Ament, right, Cecil? You've told us that.
He is not coming to Arkansas. I want him really bad to come, but he's not coming. Nate just want that. He want that bag, and we ain't gonna give him that bag that he want. So he's not coming to Arkansas. I think we'll be okay though. I mean, y'all see though.
Yeah, Arkansas's got a lot of talent. You're right. So you want to get the best you can get.
I just wanted to share something. I forget what podcast it was, because I look at a lot of podcasts, a lot of sports every day. That's all I do in work. But, man, they got up there and they was talking about Shedeur Sanders like he just not going to be nothing. And, I know his dad just signed for $54 million. That's great. And I think Shedeur is a good athlete. And
I
Matt,
like his
you're
work
a quarterback.
ethic. I like his work ethic, Cecil.
There you go, Matt. I like it too. And I think he's going to be a really good quarterback in the league. This guy just slandered him. I don't know. And everybody's human now, so everybody got that. Just because they're in the higher ups or something like that, don't mean they can't think the way they want to think. And this guy was just thinking the way he wanted to think. That was like a personal. The way he was saying it, it was like something personal. But Shadeur's I think he's going to be really good. And then when you get to the pros, just like I just told Ronnie's little brother, big brother, because we talk all the time. He actually works here, but he had an elbow surgery. But we talk a lot. And if we're talking about Cooper Flagg, I don't think Cooper Flagg is going to go to the NBA. For what? He's getting the bag. He's getting it. He got commercials going. He's 17. He's young. He could be really great. So why would you put a baby out there with the lines like that when he's still getting money and he's still got a lot of learning to do? He's going to be way better than what he is. So why would you rush? And you getting it? And you in school, college, all the ladies, and you're just having fun. And you got another chance to win a championship. So why would you go like that? That's everybody's prerogative to do that, though. But if it was my son, I would have him to stay, though. I wouldn't rush into the NBA because everybody's getting paid now.
Cecil, appreciate your phone call. Always good to hear from you. We'll break in a moment. Don't forget today, Wednesday night, Joe's Grilling Cantina. Kids get a delicious meal for $5. There's a coloring contest. Kids win cool prizes. And karaoke night where the kids get to be the stars. It's Wednesday nights, Joe's Grilling Cantina, 3400 South 74th. It's across from Harps in Fort Smith. We'll be back, wrap up halftime in just a moment.
McLovin? What kind of a stupid name is that, Fogel? What are you trying to be, an Irish R&B singer?
This is halftime.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today and see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit can save you up to $500 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
After I drop the kids off, I have to run across town for a meeting, hit the gym during lunch. Jake has soccer tonight, and Emily has gymnastics? Oh, did I turn on the crock pot this morning?
With the never-ending to-do list, it's easy to forget something important, like setting up a life insurance plan with Shelter Insurance. Your local Shelter agent can show you how to create a safety net for your family. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
See Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Save up to $5,000 on select Buick Envisions at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The Buick Envision showcases inspired design with exclusive features in this 5-passenger SUV. Or drive the brand new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith or online at harryrobinson.com.
Can you explain the infield fly rule? Neither can I, but I can help you navigate a variety of legal issues, from divorce to personal injury to estate planning. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions, a new law firm offering affordable flat fees with payment plans available. You get an ace at the price of a minor leaguer. Now that sounds like a grand slam to me. Call Mock Legal Solutions for your free consultation. 479-769-1505. Real advice, reasonable price.
Hey, it's Ty Richardson, my buddy Simon Wheeler with Wheeler Power Sports. Stop by the studio.
If you have a name brand motorcycle, ATV, or side-by-side you would consider selling or trading, call or text or use bike buyers at 479-783-5822 or visit us online at wheelerpowersports.com. Buy, sell, or trade Wheeler is the one for 2025. Try to be Fort Smith's authorized dealer for Kawasaki, Suzuki, Polaris, and Slingshot.
Simon Wheeler at Wheeler Power Sports in downtown Fort Smith, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Fords Grid Incorporated, a company known for paying top wages and benefits, has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. For nearly 90 years, Fords Grid has built the foundations of the River Valley, and now you can become a part of that legacy. Apply now from any device at GoFordsGrid.com. That's GoFordsGrid.com. Do you finally want to get paid well for your work? Do you want to work for a company that treats you like family? Apply now at GoFordsGrid.com. Fords Grid Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their hand-patted burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Call or text the Lewis Automotive Group hotline, 877-377-6963.
While we're on the subject, could we change the subject now? I was knocking on your ears, don't you were always out, looking towards the future. We were begging for the past. Well, we know we have.
Welcome back into halftime, live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
Beautiful day if you want to get over to Swift's Jewelry in downtown Fayetteville with love in the air right now. They're located at 27 North Block Avenue right next to Hugo's. Swift's, trusted name since 1956, specializing in wedding and engagement rings, watch repairs as well. Got a dazzling collection on site right there at the Fayetteville Square or at swiftsjewelry.com. Swift's Jewelry, where timeless elegance and exceptional craftsmanship come together in the heart of Fayetteville. Baseball, they're going to be working out very soon. It's just starting to stretch the arms out in right field. Baseball tomorrow against Texas A&M, and I think we kind of hit on just about everything we need to. Portal open, and by tomorrow, who knows if there'll be some additions or not. But I'm going to spend the rest of the day here, the ballpark. Why not? Who would say anything wrong with being at a baseball park where it's sunny and guys are practicing and get a chance to watch some of that? I can't think of a better place to be. Matt doesn't have Champions League, unfortunately, though.
No, we do. We got Champions League today.
Okay.
Inter and Bayern and Arsenal and Real Madrid. But all I was going to say is let's go baseball.
And Clay, Maybe I'll go find Cam Kozel out by Lake Norm at some point.
I bet he's catching fish.
I'll bet he.
I don't know how big they are, but he's catching them.
I think it's every single day that he's doing that.
I'm going to go hit some golf balls.
All right.
Nice.
Well, it's good stuff, guys. Back with you tomorrow. Ruskin and Zach coming up in a moment. And if you missed any of it, the Eastside Liquor Halftime Podcast has all the highlights, which is usually all 3 hours of halftime anyway. For Matt Jones, for Clay Henry, and Kristen Johnston, I'm Phil. Thanks for listening. Get up, get out, and get better.
Spring camping